afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the brand new Field of Dreams Water Park. Some call it Best Amateur Celebrates Water Park, and it's historic for the prettiest ballparks nestled in this magnificent set. Today's kickoff baseball game features the Falmouth Commodores and the hometown Kettleers celebrating their 77th season of baseball. Let's check today's starting lineup. First will the visitors from Falmouth. Leading off with shortstop from Oklahoma, number 18, Jackson Willis. 9 seconds, second baseman, number 7, Jack Bell, Texas A&M. In the third spot, the left fielder.
Happy 4th of July from Lowell Park. It's the Kettleers starting 9. I'm Alex Rocco. He's Joe Pratt. And Joe, such a special day here in the village. Had the parade earlier today. Bouncy house, slip and slide. Mike Roberts was throwing batting practice. There was a lot here at Lowell Park. What was your favorite part of the opening or pregame ceremonies?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. The parade was amazing as always. Cotuit fans and everybody around the village coming out in full force, and it was just amazing to see all the fans and then get here, experience all the fun and games and kids enjoying everything that was going on around Lowell Park. A favorite for me, I really loved that T-ball game. I think Nolan Naraki, who was just talking with Adele a few minutes ago, he had a few words to say about that, but that was definitely my favorite part, where you got to hit the plastic baseballs with the wiffle ball bat and the air thing blowing it up. But anyway, that was a great way to start off the day, but of course we got a baseball game to play, and the Kets are trying to get back on track here against Falmouth.
We do have a baseball game to play, and there's a lot of fans already here, but Joe, what does a day like this mean to the village?
I mean, it means a lot. There's probably going to be just about as many people as we'll probably have at any game so far this season and throughout the rest of the season. I mean, just a packed village as we saw from the parade this morning. But I mean, to get back on track would be huge, because this is a team that's lost 2 straight games. The offense hasn't really been there. Pitching has been good at times, but the walks and the blow-up innings have come back to bite them. And so for Cotuit, just to win a game and get back on the right track and have a good rest of the month of July is going to be super important, because they're one of the best teams in the month of June.
And it was a 6-4 victory last night for Falmouth, as Cotuit was on the road at Gov Fuller Field. And once again, it was starting behind the 8 ball. Cotuit gave up 3 runs in that bottom of the first, and it was just one big inning, a 4-run top of the 7th, but more consistent offense. What did you see last night from the Kettleers' attack?
Well, I mean, the Kets were aggressive at the plate and fell behind in a lot of counts. And I think when they fall behind in counts, I mean, you're kind of working your way back into counts. And the only 3 base runners to get on in the first 6 innings were by a hit by pitch and a couple walks. So seeing pitches are going to be really important, putting the ball in play, and that was great defense played by Falmouth last night. You know, you can't argue that, and you can't be too disappointed with just putting the ball in play and putting it in play at their fielders. So putting it in play and hopefully squeezing through some gaps is going to be huge, and getting back on track tonight. But offensively, I mean, you want to see some better at-bats and some more opportunities with runners in scoring position.
One of those guys who had success last night was Nolan Naraki. He caught up with Adele Huffman moments ago.
Hey guys, my name's Adele Huffman, and I'm joining pregame alongside Nolan Naraki. Just now transferred to South Carolina. Take us through the decision process behind that.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Obviously emotionally tough leaving Clemson, but I just think it was the best opportunity. Baseball-wise, I got new staff coming in, and I think we can do great things next year.
Absolutely, Nolan. And spending your first July 4th here in Cotuit, how was the parade for you?
Yeah, it's been really special. It's been a special day. Everyone showed out for the parade. It was a lot of fun. We were throwing around shirts to kids and everything like that. So, yeah, it's just been a great day so far, and I'm excited for the game.
What was your favorite part earlier when we had all the games and the slip and slide going on? Did you slip and slide?
I would have. I was tempted, but I have the same clothes on right now, so that wouldn't be too good.
Gotcha. Did you have a favorite game other than that?
The slip and slide was, it looked like a favorite to me, but it was all fun. They had all the sporting events from basketball, and guys were hitting off the tee and all that. The bouncy house was dope too, and honestly, the adult hitting competition was I thought that was pretty fun to watch and to see Coach Roberts out there throwing BP for about 3 hours.
Yeah, Coach's hand is definitely feeling it today. And everybody's sporting the new July 4th hats, the fans and the players. What do you think?
Yeah, I love them. They fit good, and definitely we got the option to wear them today if we wanted to, and we all said for sure. So we're excited to play in them.
So playing Falmouth for the second time in a row, now they're home with us. What are you looking forward to building on in today's game?
Yeah, well, we lost the last two, so we're definitely trying to come out here and really just give some energy. And I know the place is going to be packed out, and everyone's going to be loud. So, yeah, we're just trying to come out with a lot of energy and a lot of fire and play our best baseball.
Well, thanks, Nolan, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Sending it back to you, Joe and Alex.
Welcome back to the Kettleers starting 9. Kettleers, Commodores, just moments away from starting here at Lowell Park. And Joe, these are two teams that squared off last night. Got good pitching from the Falmouth side of things, but it should be another exciting pitching matchup here today.
Yeah, it really should. Tanner Smith out of Harvard. He just finished up his second year there, and Thatcher Hurd out of LSU, currently in the transfer portal. He gets his second start. Smith gets his third start. Smith really good through his first 2 starts. Not too much time, though, on the mound. 5 total innings, 2 earned runs. Struggled with walks and didn't strike out too many guys. 4 walks for Smith, and pretty much the same thing for Thatcher Hurd in his lone start. It was against Bourne last Friday, who ran into a lot of trouble in that first inning, and it was mainly because of the walks, and we saw that a lot in yesterday's game. So I think having a very clean first inning for Thatcher Hurd is going to be super important, and Tanner Smith just got to keep doing what he's doing, and for him, hopefully, to cut down on the walks. It should be a good one for him today, and a good pitching matchup.
And Joe, this is a Cotuit team that is struggling so far in July. Have dropped their first 2 games. What's a big key for you in your mind for picking up win number 1?
Yeah, I think a key is just Thatcher Hurd being able to go out there and throw strikes early on. I mean, you mentioned it, Falmouth getting out to an early lead last night, Cotuit falling behind a lot in these past couple games. So for Thatcher Hurd to have a good start to the game, hopefully not pile on too many walks and go deeper into this ball game, it should set up the bullpen nicely, who, when given a lead, has been able to perform at just about as better as anybody in the league. So hopefully a good start for Hurd, and send it to the bullpen from there. Hopefully the offense can take care of their job as well.
My key for today, offense production in the middle of the lineup. Cotuit last night, 0 for 14. They're 2 through 5 hitters, and that was something that Mike Roberts told Adele Huffman last night. You need more production from the middle of the lineup, so let's see if the Kettleers bats can get going in the heart of the order. Just moments away between the Commodores and Kettleers. We'll send it back up to the broadcast booth here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Boy Scout Troop 52 of Cotuit with our colors tonight.
Just moments away from first pitch here at Lowell Park. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt, and a happy 4th of July to everyone spending their holiday with us, as it's the Falmouth Commodores squaring off against the Cotuit Kettleers. So happy that you could be joining us between 2 battles of West Division foes. They played last night, Joe, and that game went to the Commodores.
Yeah, it did. Falmouth just getting on the board early on, a 3-run bottom of the first inning, and a big win in Game 1 of this home-and-home series, and we are just about set to get ready for Game 2 and on the 4th of July. So the national anthem taking place at Lowell Park right here in just a few moments.
So we will step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Cats Digital Network. Stay tuned for more.
Good afternoon. I invite you to take a moment to pause, to be in touch with our gratitude for this village, for this nation. Gracious God, we ask your blessings upon this place where we live. We ask that we might embody the truest ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Bless this time, bless this village, bless this nation. In all of the names that we know you to be holy. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats. Our national anthem is going to be performed by the choir in St. Leonard's Church in Cotuit. Federated Church. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you please bring your attention to the field. We have two first pitches today. First, pitch is Massachusetts State Representative. Serves as the interim chair of the Labor Workforce Development for the Massachusetts House of Representatives since January 3rd, 2021. He's also a retired world champion boxer. Kip was born and raised on Cape Cod. He attended Barnstable High School, graduated in 1985. He played football, was co-captain of the boys ice hockey team, and was the recipient of the Cotuit Kettleers MVP Awards for boys ice hockey in 1984 and 1985. He holds a record 30-5 and 3 knockouts. He has North American Boxing Federation and International Boxing Organization welterweight title. He fought his final match in the Cape Cod Featherweight Tag. We also would like to welcome to the playing field Henry Schock, the CEO and founder of Zoom Info, a go-to market platform with more than 30,000 customers that helps businesses unlock insights, engage customers, and win fast. Henry is based in Boston. He has a home here in Cotuit. He's accompanied out of Mom by his 7-year-old daughter Grace. He loves gymnastics, ballet, and of course, Taylor Smith. And there goes Grace. Takes to the big right arm. Great touch. Here's the wind up and the pitch. And let it go, Grace. Grace and Henry Schock, CEO and founder of Zoom Info. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It's time to play ball here at Lowell Park.
Two minutes away from first pitch here at Lowell Park between the Falmouth Commodores and the Cotuit Kettleers, as the Kettleers are about set to take the field. And Joe, we talked about it. These are two teams very familiar with each other, played against each other last night, but what are you looking forward to for the Kettleers looking to pick up win number 1 here in the month of July?
hopefully a lot of offense today, because this is an offense that for Falmouth on their side that has been performing incredibly well in their last 5 games, now 3-3 in their last 6. And compared to the last time these two teams met, which was, the first time these two teams met earlier on this season, Cotuit won their 5th straight win in a row, and then Falmouth lost their 5th game in a row. They lost 5 in a row. Cotuit won 5 in a row the last time these two teams played, but now Cotuit trying to not lose their 3rd in a row, and Falmouth looking to win their 3rd straight in the month of July. So we talked about it being a new month for this Falmouth team and a new month for this Cotuit team as well. And Falmouth so far is off to a better start in the most important month of the Cape Cod Baseball League season.
Falmouth, victors of 4 of their last 6 contests. They enter today with a 5-10 record. Cotuit sits at 9-6. So a big game here early on in July. But Joe, such a special day here in the Village. Had the parade early on in the morning. Of course, the festivities, they continued here at Lowell Park. Mike Roberts was throwing batting practice to fans. There was a bouncy house, T-ball machines, just an excellent day here at the park.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. We heard Nolan Naraki talk with Adele Huffman in the pregame show saying how he enjoyed it from the players' perspective, all of the players having a great time during the parade, it seemed, and we, of course, having a great time as well. The parade concluded, all the festivities around Lowell Park. Some of them are still here, and people are bouncing around to each of those, but we still got a baseball game to be played here at Lowell Park. It's great to have everybody here packed at Lowell Park once again for the 4th, and it hasn't been here in a couple years, of course, this home-and-home series alternating between Gov Fuller Field and Lowell Park, and we are just lucky enough to have it in 2024 right here at LP.
There is baseball to be played, and looking at the Cotuit starting pitcher, it's Thatcher Hurd making his 2nd start this summer, the first coming against Bourne, and a big start for Thatcher here today, Joe.
Yeah, a massive start against this Falmouth team who we had mentioned has been hitting the ball incredibly well in these past 6 games. So let's go ahead and give you Jeff Trundy's lineup against the Kets today. Jackson Willits will lead off and play shortstop, recently announcing his transfer to Tennessee today. Jack Bell didn't start in last night's game. He plays at second base and bats second. Luke Gaffney headed to Clemson this fall, playing in left field and batting third. Trent Caraway out of Oregon State plays the hot corner and bats fourth. Gavin Turley in straightaway center field. He bats fifth. Scott Mudler behind the dish, the catcher today. Jason Jones bats seventh. He plays in right field. Isaiah Barquette back at first for the second straight game. He's batting eighth, and Jimmy Nadeye will be the DH. Didn't get the start in last night's game, but a couple of different Commodores getting their way into this lineup today for the 4th of July, and the same could be said on the side for Cotuit. A bit of a shuffling around of the lineup today.
We could preview the Cotuit defense. Getting the start in left field, Brandon Compton. In center field is Kien Vu. The right fielder, Charles Davalon, did not play last night, as Nathan Hall takes a rest. As back to the usual infield for the Kettleers, Nolan Naraki playing at the hot corner. Tyler Cerny, who did not play in last night's game, he starts at short. Jaron Advincula plays at second base. Playing first base is Tanner Thatch. Behind the dish is Matt Klein, and of course on the mound is Thatcher Hurd, taking just a couple of warm-up pitches here. But a big game here for the Kettleers. And, Joe, this is uncharted territory for the Kettleers. Back-to-back losses for the first time since Game 2 and Game 3 of the season. And they're looking for a massive comeback victory here today and just playing better baseball. Yeah, they are. I think that's really the biggest point that you hit on at the end there, just playing better baseball and being able to do the things that they were doing so well just a week and a half ago, where they were getting constant base runners, putting the ball in play constantly. You know, that's not something that has really been bad for the Cotuit. They've been putting the ball in play a lot, but it's just getting base runners and getting them in the right positions to score and getting those timely hits. It's just not something that we've seen from Cotuit in these past few games. But, of course, pitchers running into situations where they're falling behind in the count, walking a lot of guys, that also has been an issue. So getting a good start in today's game will be important, and I know we've talked about that a lot in these past few games. That was something that Mike Roberts talked about a lot last night when he caught up with Adele Huffman, and said that he hopes the loss last night to the Commodores makes the players play meaner today. But just set for first pitch here at Lowell Park. The leadoff man is the shortstop, Jackson Willits. He digs into the batter's box. Thatcher Hurd is ready on the mound. Willits is ready. The first pitch taken at the letters for ball number 1, and we are underway here from Lowell Park. First pitch tossed at 5:04 p.m. Weather here in Cotuit, 77 degrees and cloudy on the 4th of July. The 1-0 pitch from Hurd misses low for ball 2. Hurd going with the fastball to begin the at-bat against Willits, but both missed the zone. Willits coming off of a excellent performance last night, went 3 for 4, scored a run, drove in a run, also walked as the 2-0 pitch popped high in the outfield. Getting underneath it is the left fielder Brandon Compton, who makes the play for out number 1. So it takes 3 pitches to retire Jackson Willits for the game's opening out.
Yeah, Jackson Willits, a walk to lead off last night's game and then a strikeout, but then after that, 3 for 3 with 3 singles, and it was the bottom half flipping over to the top half that really got the Kettleers last night. That 8, 9, and 1 trio for Falmouth going 8 for 11.
Just impressive stuff from that 8, 9, and 1 combination, as it's the second baseman, Jack Bell, who looks at the first pitch from Hurd. What makes it even more impressive, Joe, is Falmouth had just 10 hits last night, so 8 of them coming from those trio of players. As quickly Bell finds himself down on the count 0-2 against the righty Hurd.
Yeah, so you brought up last night, Robert's talking about the Cotuit lineup and the heart of the lineup that really needs to step up. You could say the same thing about Falmouth, just there are other guys batting in their roles, doing a nice job.
The 0-2 pitch waved through and missed by Jack Bell, and Thatcher Hurd records strikeout number 1, and quickly 2 are retired here in the top of the first.
Yeah, it's a great pitch there from Thatcher Hurd. Just blows it right by him. Got only 1 strikeout his last time out in just under 4 innings against Bourne. So it's good to see him throwing strikes early on, because walks and 1 hit by pitch is really what caused most of the damage against him in that first inning.
Now it's Luke Gaffney swinging away at the first pitch, chops this one slowly down the first base line, gloved by Tanner Thatch, who takes it to the bag himself for a 1-2-3, top of the first. When we head to the bottom of the first here at Lowell Park, Falmouth and Cotuit tied up at 0 with the Kettleers coming to bat here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
After a 1-2-3 top of the first, the Kettleers are set to take their first swings against the right-handed pitcher, Tanner Smith. And Joe, how do the Cats line up?
Jaron Advincula in the leadoff spot today. The first time we get to see him in that spot. Hasn't batted above 5th in the order so far this season, so it'll be interesting to see the league leader in batting average get the first looks on Tanner Smith today. But after that, Cotuit lining up with Tanner Thatch at first base batting second. Matt Klein bats third. He's been swinging a hot bat and elevates himself to the top 3 in the lineup. Kian Vu, the cleanup hitter playing center field, got the start yesterday and he's back in the lineup. Charles Davalon, he didn't play in Falmouth a day ago, but he bats 5th. Tyler Cerny 6th. Brandon Compton gets his 9th straight start in left field. Timo Becerra bats 8th. He's the DH today, and Nolan Naraki down in the order at 9th.
So it is the aforementioned Jaron Advincula set to lead things off here in the bottom of the first. And Advincula swinging such a hot bat, coming into today with a .457 average as he takes the first pitch from the righty Tanner Smith for strike number 1. Smith goes with the fastball at 94 miles an hour, can really run up the velocity on the heater. The 0-1 pitch to Advincula, lined hard and fouled down the third base line, and quickly finds himself down to the count 0-2.
Yeah, 94, 95 for Tanner Smith out of the gates. He'll typically throw a low 90s fastball, averaging around 93. And so already with some heat on his first 2 pitches, and 0-2 on Advincula.
Advincula 2 for 4 last night as the 0-2 pitch taken well outside for ball 1.
Also throws a pretty hard curveball in the low 80s and the changeup in the high 80s.
Smith comes set, gets the sign from his catcher Scott Mudler as once again the fastball outside. Count is even at 2-2 here. Taking a look at the Falmouth defense. From left to right in the outfield, Luke Gaffney, Gavin Turley, and Jason Jones. From third to first is Trent Caraway, Jackson Willits, Jack Bell, and Isaiah Barquette. Catching is Scott Mudler, and of course on the mound is Tanner Smith, who gets Sharon Advincula down on strikes for just the 3rd time this season. So Advincula retired for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, not often you see Advincula go down on strikes. A great 2-strike hitter, as we talked about before the game, but Advincula, a guy who does typically fall behind in the count and is able to make great contact and just get pieces of pitches, foul off, and put the ball in play. But just his 3rd strikeout on the year shows you the stuff that Tanner Smith is working with.
The first pitch to Thatch, dribbled down the third base line and foul. Tanner Smith attends Harvard. This year in Ivy League play at a 4.97 ERA. In 12 2/3 innings pitched, made 1 start. As runs the fastball up to 97 miles an hour here, but misses well high to the first baseman, Thatch. Thatch coming off of an 0-for-3 performance last night where he walked and struck out as he hits this one hard and fouled down the third base line. So 2 hard hit balls for Thatch, but just laces them foul.
And now back to a 1-2 count. Not a position that he's been great in this season.
The 1-2 pitch breaking ball misses on the inner half of the plate. So the count is even at 2-2. And Thatch and 1-2 count show. We were talking about this pregame. 0-for-15 with 8 strikeouts. So not a great spot to be. Down on the count 1-2, but lays off with the count even at 2-2 here. But Tanner Smith elevates a fastball as Tanner Thatch waves through as the first 2 hitters in the Kettleers lineup go down on strikes.
Yeah, Tanner beats Tanner there. Back-to-back strikeouts against 2 lefties in the top of this Cotuit order. So he'll be facing another lefty in Matt Klein, looking to complete the 3-up, 3-down, striking out of the side to start off this bottom of the first.
5 lefties to begin the Cotuit order as Klein swings away at the first pitch, but that reaches foul territory. Right at the baseball machine over there. The blow-up tee like you were mentioning earlier, Joe. So some kids over taking some big hacks. The 0-1 of the catcher, Klein, taken outside for ball 1. Klein did not play in last night's game. Hitting .316 this summer is the catcher out of Louisville and finds himself up in the count here as the 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Smith misses off the plate. And interesting, Joe, Smith working out of the stretch here instead of the windup as the 2-1 decline. This one hit on the ground to the second baseman, Bell. Fields cleanly his throw up the first base line, gets away from the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette. So Matt Klein reaches with 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, if you remember the last time these 2 teams played here at Lowell Park, plenty of errors on the infield for the Commodores, most of those coming in that 6th inning for Falmouth. And that time there, just a throw from the second baseman, Jack Bell, who hasn't been in the lineup the past couple days, gets back in today and immediately tested in this first inning. Can't make that throw as he pulls it up the line, and that's one where you just don't set your feet as a second baseman. And good hustle from Matt Klein, who stands on first with 2 gone.
Now it's Kian Vu who swings at the first pitch, dribbles this down the first base line, but well foul. Vu making back-to-back starts since Game 2 and Game 3 of the season. Last night, went 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double. Also caught the attention of Coach Roberts saying post-game he swung the bat well and finds himself up well in the heart of this Kettleer order. 0-1 pitch to Vu. Popped foul down the third base line, and once again, Tanner Smith getting ahead of the Kettleers.
Yeah, Vu gets another chance here. We've seen him get into the lineup and pinch hit at times, but hasn't been a staple in center field yet that maybe we had envisioned him being at the start of the season, but moving back into the top of the order, puts in good at-bats. And another opportunity today.
Vu hit ninth as Smith steps off. Klein back in standing. 16 pitches for Tanner Smith here in the bottom of the first, 10 strikes, and looking to get out of the jam after the error by the second baseman Jack Bell as his 0-2 pitch curveball laid off by Vu. Count is at 1-2 here. And Vu, such a productive player this past campaign at Arizona State, where he hit .413 in 47 games, also drove in 46 runs. As the 1-2 pitch, high fastball laid off at the letters. Also was an ultra-productive player last summer in the Valley League, where he hit .340 and played 28 games for the Culpeper Cavaliers. But is struggling so far this summer, hitting .192 as the curveball gets away from Smith, but gloved down by Mudler.
New catcher behind the plate. Mudler getting his first start. A new add to the roster.
Carson Bowen got the start in last night's game. He went 3 for 4, also hit a home run as Klein takes off on the pitch, but Kian Vu waves through it. So Tanner Smith records 3 strikeouts here in the bottom of the first and working through the error by the second baseman Jack Bell. We head to the second inning with Falmouth and Cotuit even at 0 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
A packed house here at Lowell Park, and just once again another beautiful day for baseball fans. Filling up the pavilion here, both grandstands, down the first base, third base lines, lawn chairs in the outfield, and the village coming out to support the Kettleers as they battle the Commodores here on the 4th of July. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt. Adele Huffman will speak with us in the bottom half of this inning, but Thatcher Hurd with a 1-2-3 top of the first. Also struck out a batter. Tanner Smith matched that, allowing just one base runner after the error by Jack Bell, but striking out 3 Cotuit hitters. As it's the 4, 5, 6 batters due up for the Commodores, and leading things off here in the inning is the third baseman Trent Caraway. Caraway last night went 0 for 3, reached via the walk. Just 3 hits so far through his first 5 games, 3 for 15 as Hurd starts him out with a first pitch breaking ball that clips the strike zone. This past year at Oregon State, played in 18 games where he hit .339. As the 0-1 pitch looked at for strike 2, Hurd getting ahead with the fastball here, and quickly 2 strikes to begin the at-bat against Caraway. Hurd comes set, kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. This one a bullet down the first base line, but well foul. That makes it over the fence and into the hands of a fan. New 4th of July hats, Joe. Blue hats with the red brim. Cotuit logo in the middle, of course, with the red, white, and blue flag. Definitely an excellent hat. The 0-2 pitch waved through and missed by Trent Caraway. The second strikeout of the day for Thatcher Hurd, and the first out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, Hurd climbs the ladder to get Caraway his second strikeout of the day. 4 up, 4 down so far for Hurd. Yeah, not a bad look. Pretty cool caps with the blue and the red and the star right behind the C. Of course, all the teams got one, so we got to see Falmouth wear theirs last night, and pretty cool thing that the league puts on every year, teams getting their 4th of July caps. You know, you and I were talking before the game, and you were saying personally how you have never broadcasted a game on the 4th, so that's pretty cool just to be able to do a game, and it's not something that a lot of us get to do at this age, including the guys who are playing in the game.
The 0-1 pitch from Hurd looked at for strike 2. Definitely a cool moment just to baseball, America's national pastime, and just to see how many people came out to support the Kettleers today. Just an awesome sight to see, and feels amazing actually getting to broadcast a game on 4th of July. Definitely something you dream of as Thatcher Hurd dicing up this Falmouth order. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the top of the second as Gavin Turley set down here.
Yeah, got to be a super cool experience for all the guys being able to play in this game and have this experience, get to say that you played in a game, and the Cape Cod League on the 4th of July, of course, being such a popular vacation destination. So many people spend the 4th up here and spend the summer, as we can see with the amount of people who are at the game today. I mean, an absolute packed house, definitely the largest crowd that we've had so far this season. But these are things that as players, they're probably never going to forget.
Quickly, the catcher, Scott Mudler, down on the count 0-2, and just the cool environment you saw earlier during the parade. All these players just soaking it up, taking videos, and just really enjoying this moment as it's a unique experience here playing on Cape Cod and in the summer leagues. The 0-2 pitch on the way from Hurd elevates the fastball, and Scott Mudler goes down on strikes. 3 straight strikeouts for Thatcher Hurd here in the top of the second. He has 4 so far through 6 batters as we head to the bottom half of the inning with Falmouth and Cotuit even at 0 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
A pitcher's duel brewing early on as 7 strikeouts through the first inning and a half here at Lowell Park as Tanner Smith comes back out to the mound. He punched out 3 of the 4 batters he faced back in the bottom of the first, and set to lead things off is the right fielder Charles Davalon.
Leading off for the Kettleers, right
Funny enough, Joe, all of those 7 strikeouts coming through with the swing variation.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just credit to these pitchers who are tucking them away in places where these bats can't quite get to him. For Smith, it's been that curveball that he's been able to get batters with, but not this time.
Swing at the first pitch is Charles Davalon. Takes the turnaround first. He will put on the brakes as the throw is relayed by the left fielder Luke Gaffney, but Charles Davalon gets a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second on the first pitch of the inning.
Well, that's exactly what you need to do against a guy like Smith. Immediately get on base, make him work from the stretch, make him have to pay attention to more than just the batter at hand. And now it's going to be Tyler Cerny. He didn't get the start in last night's game and kind of had a rough stretch going into the end of those 10 straight starts that he had. So another opportunity for him today to get back into the groove of things. We know that he's been an incredibly talented hitter these past couple years at Indiana. And we've seen flashes of that here on the Cape, but not to the level that we've seen at Indiana, and that makes it really exciting to continue to watch him play.
The 0-1 on the way to Cerny. That one evades the glove of the catcher Mudler. Taking second base is Davalon. He will make the turn, but will head back to the bag. So it's a wild pitch from Tanner Smith, and now Charles Davalon stands in scoring position.
You know, we were just talking about the strikeouts and how they're all swinging strikeouts. Just 10 total strikeouts in the game yesterday, so complete flip of the script. We're already at 7 through this first inning and a half today, and a couple of pitchers who have great college experience. Of course, Hurd at Louisiana State and Tanner Smith out of Harvard.
Smith will step off.
Both very solid pitching programs. We've seen a few other Harvard Crimson play in this league this season. Sean Matson here at Lowell Park the other night.
Taking the leadoff second is Davalon. The pitch once again pops out of the glove of Mudler. Moving up to third is Davalon. So back-to-back pitches get away from the catcher Scott Mudler, and Charles Davalon stands just 90 feet away from being the game's opening run.
Yeah, and those first two there, not on Tanner Smith, both pass balls that advance Charles Davalon to second and now to third, and so that's just not the start that Scott Mudler was looking for in his debut with the Commodores.
The 2-1 to Cerny. This one hit on the ground to the second baseman. Bell fields cleanly. Throw is in time, but coming in to score is Charles Davalon. So it's an RBI ground out for Tyler Cerny, and Cotuit takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Well, you talked about it pregame, Alex. 5 straight games going into this one where the Cats have been unable to score the first run, and they're 2-3 in that span. So today, getting on the board early, that was a key to the game earlier today. So Cotuit doing just that. Cerny doing his job, already had the runner to 90 feet. So all you really need to do with 2 outs is make solid contact and put it in play. That's exactly what he did.
That was a big at-bat for Cerny. In his last 5 games, just 2 for 21, and although he didn't get a base knock, still contributes with the RBI. Now it's Brandon Compton. The 0-1 pitch to him, fastball well outside. Compton last night went 1 for 3, and also another point, Joe, all starting off with that leadoff single by Charles Davalon, hitting in the 5th spot. Last night in the loss against the Commodores, the 2 through 5 spots in the Cotuit order went 0 for 14.
Yeah, just not a mark you want to see from the heart of the lineup that's supposed to produce the most. I mean, these guys, which is completely switched up today, right? Because yesterday it was Cannon Peebles getting his first start, Tanner Thatch in there, Timo Becerra, and Nate Hall. Mike Roberts, a complete shuffling of the heart of the lineup today.
Compton just dribbles this one right in front of home plate, but that goes foul. Kian Vu, of course, hitting 9th last night, finds himself in the cleanup spot. Matt Klein, who didn't play, he bats 3rd. Charles Davalon, he didn't play. He bats 5th. So Mike Roberts continuing to shuffle things along. Timo Becerra, he bats 8th. Cannon Peebles and Nathan Hall not getting the starts today. So Mike Roberts changing up the lineup here, looking for production as Compton skies this one into left field. Getting underneath it is Luke Gaffney, who makes the grab for the second out of the inning.
I think what you can kind of see here, we already talked about 8 for 11 last night, Falmouth's 8-9-1. Maybe Mike Roberts trying to take a page out of Jeff Trundy's book today and placing Timo Becerra, who batted cleanup last night, Naraki, who has been the normal leadoff man. Those guys are at 8 and 9. And then your normal 9-man, Jaron Advincula, batting at leadoff. So kind of a reverse of that 8-9-1. And, well, we'll see if it pans out right today.
He said last night you need more production out of the middle of the lineup to win baseball games, and definitely making some adjustments here. As here is Becerra, the 0-1 pitch looked at for ball one. So the count is even at 1-1 here. Becerra hitting 154 this summer through 5 games. 2 for 13. Does have a double with an RBI. That came back against Bourne last Friday. 2-1 is the count here. Tanner Smith allowed just one base runner back in the bottom of the first. Ran into some trouble with some pass balls by the catcher, Scott Mulder. But Becerra dribbles this one off of his front foot. That goes foul. So the count is even at 2-2 here with 2 outs in the inning. The 2-2 on the way. Taken at the letters for ball 3. So the count runs full here with 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit scored the game's first run off of the RBI groundout by Tyler Cerny. As the payoff pitch runs too far in tight, Becerra takes it for ball 4 as he works a 2-out walk and brings up the third baseman Nolan Naraki.
Well, now back-to-back innings with 2-out base runners, and Cotuit making Tanner Smith work a bit more than he needs to. But, of course, not really bailed out by his field so far today. The runner with 2 outs last inning reached on an error and then drew a ground ball immediately after the single to Charles Davalon. That could have been tailor-made for 2, but the 2 passed balls.
The first pitch to Naraki taken outside for ball 1.
So essentially he could have been done with this inning minus the mistakes with Brandon Compton's fly out to left. But now having to face 2 extra batters and Naraki looking to extend the inning.
The 1-0 pitch to Naraki, skied on the infield. Getting underneath it is the first baseman Barquette, who grabs it for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Cotuit takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 2nd. So the Kettleers score 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 1 on base as we head to the top of the 3rd, but not before we bring on the 3rd member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Alex and Joe. Yes, earlier, our 4th of July celebrations here in Cotuit, we had that parade starting at 11 a.m. this morning. And as soon as I got here, I saw Mikey Ebner walking around in his American flag shorts. Already knew it was going to be a great day to be at Lowell Park. And then we had that amazing parade, which I loved experiencing for my first time. Joe, I can only imagine that it's great to experience it year after year. And then after the parade, we came back to the park for some games and festivities. I was personally stationed with Timo Becerra and Charles Davalon. And we decided to start making bets to see who could win, and the loser would have to go on the slip and slide. But it was kind of embarrassing whenever none of us could get an axe on the board, so the fans started showing us up, and those little kids really know how to throw an axe. But so Charles Davalon and Timo Becerra, great baseball players, but definitely need to work on their axe throwing. Back to you, Joe and Alex.
Thanks so much, Adele. Great stuff once again, and just so cool seeing the players interacting with fans. And we'll see, the axe machine is still up, so we'll see if they get some practice later after this game. Could use it as if what Adele says is true.
I mean, you would think baseball players throwing things, it could go together, but I mean, axe throwing, it's just a different beast. But yeah, the first thing she mentioned Mikey Ebner's socks, the Cape League Pitcher of the Week. showing his spirit, American spirit, and a lot of different guys around the ballpark are doing that with their different colored socks and other things that are pretty cool to see, showing their personalities a little bit. And you think about, maybe these are things that they're not always able to do at their colleges. So the extra expression and freedom that is summer ball that they're able to experience this year. And, of course, on 4th of July, so it couldn't be more fitting.
Timo Becerra talked about it yesterday, getting in the 4th of July spirit with some USA attire. So definitely cool to see as this pitch rocketed into center field. Making the leaping grab is Kien Vu for the first out here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, that one hammered off the bat of Jason Jones, who's in the lineup after not making the lineup yesterday. Kien Vu kind of tracking in on that ball and then had to take a few steps back, leap up for it, but a line drive all the way off the bat of Jason Jones, a scorching shot. But luckily it's right at Kien Vu and there's one gone.
Digging in is a guy who had a lot of success last night, Isaiah Barquette. He went 2 for 3 with a triple and a single. As Hurd starts him out with a first pitch fastball taken for strike number 1. Hurd 20 pitches, 18 strikes so far, through 2 1/3. Kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch. Tried to locate on the outside corner, but just pushed it too far off the plate for ball 1.
How about those socks for Barquette?
Those are some elite socks, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-1 pitch to Barquette. Hit on a line into left field. Getting underneath it is Brandon Compton. So 2 hard hit balls, but both find the outfielder's gloves for the first 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, and Hurd has cruised through the first 8 that he's faced in the batting lineup, but clearly some communication between the top half guys who have already hit against Hurd in the bottom half, because they were all over those 2 pitches, smoked into the outfield. So for Hurd, something to pay attention to. We'll see how long Mike Roberts decides to keep him in this game, but now his 9th batter faced.
Hurd gave up 3 runs in the first 2 innings of his first start against Bourne, but has gone 8 up, 8 down here. Here's the designated hitter, Jimmy Nadai. 1-0 is the count to him. Hitting just 111 so far this summer. 1-0 curveball taken right down the middle for strike 1. But Hurd struggled with command in that game. Hit a batter, walked 2, but he's really had his command early on today. His 4 strikeouts so far. 1-1 pitch low and in tight, laid off for ball 2 by Nadai. This past year at Stanford, hit .308, started in 54 games. Was a Pac-12 All-Conference honorable mention. The 2-1 pitch waved through and missed by Nadai there as Hurd evens the count at 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning.
A lot of swing and misses from Thatcher Hurd so far today, and on those 4 strikeouts, at least 3 of them, he went to the fastball and elevated it to get a swinging K. So let's see if he tries to do that here with a 2-2 count on Nadai.
The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball low and outside. So the count runs full here to the 9th man in the Falmouth order.
Maybe try to locate that cutter low and away, dotted on the low and outside corner. Nadai with a good eye, and we'll see if Hurd goes back to the fastball here.
The payoff pitch on the inner part of the plate, the appeal down to first base. He did not go, so Jimmy Nadai, the first batter to reach against Thatcher Hurd today, working the 2-out walk.
Yeah, I think Nadai was trying to say that the ball hit him and then tipped into the glove of Matt Klein. It was hard to tell if it hit his bat or hit him. Of course, if it hit his bat, it wouldn't have mattered if he went around because the ball was caught by Klein. So it had to have clipped his jersey or clipped himself somehow, but nonetheless, it's the first runner of the game for Falmouth.
So it's back to the top of the Commodores order with the leadoff man, Jackson Willett, who lays off on the first pitch from Hurd. Willett's 0 for 1 flew out to Brandon Compton to open the ball game. Hurd set at the belt. Long look in, deals with 6 on the pitch clock, but misses high on the fastball as Willits up in the count 2-0 here. Hurd attending LSU, pitched in the College World Series just a couple of years ago, and always good to have that experience coming into a summer league, can share that with his teammates. Began his collegiate career at UCLA, then transferred to LSU. Big looping breaking ball from Hurd there, but Willits lays off as that misses for ball 3.
Yeah, Hurd falling behind the count here. Not something that we've seen through his first rotation in the lineup. Willits getting his second looks on him and a chance to extend the inning once more, and a get-me-over fastball there.
3-1 is the count here. Hurd also just recently announced he's entering the transfer portal. So after 2 seasons at LSU, Hurd looking for his new home. The 3-1 pitch taken for strike 2. Willits thought about swinging at it, but decided against it, but it's a strike regardless. So from 3-0 to 3-2 here with 2 outs in the top of the third. Cotuit leads 1-0. Nadi leads off first. He goes for second. This one rocketed up the middle. Diving snag by Cerny. The throw over to first base in time. What a play. Tyler Cerny flashing the leather, robbing Jackson Willits of a 2-out base knock. And that ends the top of the third here. So an excellent defensive play by the Kettleers. Shortstop sends us to the bottom half of the third with the Kettleers leading 1-0 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Excellent defense and pitching so far from the Cotuit Kettleers through 2.5 innings of play here at Lowell Park. And now we head back to the top of the Kettleer order with Jaron Advincula set to dig in for his second at-bat against the starter, Tanner Smith. First pitch from him misses low for ball 1. Advincula just his 3rd strikeout this season. Such a tough guy to punch out, always works deep in the counts, making good swings. As lays off on the pitch here. 2-0 is the count to the Kettleers second baseman.
In his 7th straight multi-hit game last night at Falmouth. Did it in his last 2 plate appearances, going 2 for 2 after the 6th inning. And that's really where a lot of the offense against Falmouth has come for the Kettleers. I guess all of the offense has come after the 6th inning. 8 runs against the Commodores so far this year, and just 1 run after the 6th inning for Falmouth on the other hand. So really interesting to see the way these 2 offenses have produced.
It's a 4-pitch walk for Jaron Advincula to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. The second free pass issued by Tanner Smith. So Advincula reaches for the first time today, and that brings up Tanner Thatch.
Well, that is not the leadoff man that you want to give up if you're Tanner Smith and Falmouth. Top of the order, Jaron Advincula aboard, just what they did last inning.
Thatch pops this one high down the third base line, but the third baseman, Trent Carraway, runs out of room as the ball reaches the crowd.
Yeah, hits off the front of the concourse, bounces about halfway up and right into the lap of one lucky fan. They got a standing, not a standing ovation. They stood up and showed the baseball. Everyone applauded. Just a packed crowd here at Lowell Park.
Fans all throughout the outfield in lawn chairs. This is the first time that we've seen it really wrapped around from right field all the way to left field.
Yeah.
We've seen fans in the gaps, but this time fans just filling up the outfield all the way down the first base and third base lines, both grandstands. So it's a packed house here at Lowell Park. The 1-1 pitch from Smith. Thatch lays off, so 2-1 is the count. With Advincula's walk, his on-base streak extends to 13 consecutive games. Like you mentioned, Joe, of course, 7 multi-hit games in a row. So just really impressive stuff from the Kettleers second baseman. The 2-1 on the way. Thatch hits this one in the air. Straight away center field. Coming on is the center fielder Gavin Turley, who makes the running grab for the first out of the inning. Turley had to run a long way, loses his hat in the process, but still ends up with the baseball.
Yeah, Turley getting his second straight start in center field, and that's a crucial out there to not draw some hard contact from Tanner Thatch, who just got under that one, was looking for his 5th home run of the season, which would be a league lead, but that'll have to wait, and there's one gone.
Now it's Matt Klein. First pitch to him misses well high for ball 1. Klein 0 for 1 today, but reached on the error by the second baseman Jack Bell. Running on the pitch is Advincula. Throw down from Mudler is not in time. Advincula swipes second, records his first stolen base of the season as he gets an excellent jump off Tanner Smith. And now there's a runner in scoring position with the count at 2-0 and just 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, we saw really aggressive base running against Falmouth last night. 2 stolen bases in the first 2 innings, and now Advincula snags his first bag of the summer. He attempted one earlier on in the season, got caught stealing. Mike Roberts saving that play for Advincula for right now.
The 2-0 offering from Smith, well high and outside, so Klein sits in the driver's seat up 3-0. Klein's been a mainstay behind the dish for Cotuit so far this summer, catching 3 straight days before Grant Jay got behind the dish, but he works a 4-pitch walk, so 2 walks issued by Tanner Smith here in the bottom of the third as the Kettleers have runners on first and second with Kia and Vu digging in.
Yeah, that was a big issue this past season for Tanner Smith at Harvard, who was recovering from Tommy John surgery in 2023, pitched in 2022, walked 16 in 34 innings in 22, but then went on in 24, 23 innings pitched with 30 walks, so a big issue there that he has continued to run into here early on in this game. But for Cotuit, got to get the bats going. That 1 hit on the scoreboard, I know it's 0 for Falmouth as well, but need to be able to string some hits together and bring home these runs because the base runners are there. Falmouth giving a lot of base runners so far today with an error and a couple of walks so far, so just need to step up and have that key hit, and that's not really something that we've been able to say about Kean Vu so far this season. He's kind of struggled in moments where he's had an opportunity to drive in runs. A guy who is not hitting at the clip that we saw this past season at Arizona State, but never too late, and the 4th of July in front of all these fans would be a perfect time to do it.
Vu just 3 RBIs so far this summer, 2 coming last night on his 2 RBI double. That made it a 5-2 ball game. Falmouth, of course, taking the victory 6-4. But a big spot for Vu here with runners on first and second with 1 out in the inning. But you mentioned the walks by Tanner Smith, even an issue this summer. Made 2 starts, has only gone 5 innings. Has allowed just 2 hits, but has hit 2 batters and has walked 5. Now that tally up to 8 through just 3 starts. The first pitch to Vu, laid off at the letters for ball 1. Smith came into this game with a 3.6 ERA, allowing just 2 runs in 5 innings. The 1-0 pitch to Vu, chopped foul down the first base line, gloved by Isaiah Barquette with the count even at 1-1 here.
A little bit of rain starting to come down. You're looking at me shocked and stunned. I know there was pretty much no chance of it happening, but a little bit of rain starting to fall down above Lowell Park. Something to keep track of. Hopefully it just passes through.
Clouds are beginning to darken here. Our producer Jimmy Shantul is also with that same confused look. Seen a lot of games so far this summer get called early due to rain and not being able to see as Vu hits this one up the middle. Knocked down by the glove of Smith. His throw in time to nab Vu. So a nice play by Tanner Smith, making the spinning throw to nab Vu for the second out of the inning. But moving up to second and third is Jaron Advincula and Matt Klein.
Yeah, still a quality at bat there for Kian Vu. Advances both runners. Just a great play by Tanner Smith to recover after it goes off of his glove right behind the mound. Has to scurry over to get it, twist and throw. Of course, Kian Vu with great speed running up that line, but a seed from Smith across to his first baseman, and now the Kets will have to rely on some two-out hitting with runners in scoring position.
Digging in is Charles Davalon, who has recorded the only hit so far in this game. Smith begins the at-bat with a first pitch strike. Well, according to the weather app, Joe, light rain is expected to stop in 27 minutes as this pitch low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Mudler. Staying put is Advincula and Klein off second and third.
Yeah, it does seem like it's not coming down really at all. Very
light rain.
Very light rain, yeah. So hopefully that's what it stays at.
1-1 pitch taken outside for ball two. And, of course, last year's 4th of July canceled due to rain. Started that game early. Of course, the Kettleers squaring off against Falmouth, but that game had to be resumed at a later date, Joe.
Yeah, it did. 2 days later, had to go back to Gov Fuller Field and resume that game in the middle of the third inning. It's funny, it was an 0-1 count. There was a runner on second, and then a downpour happened, and had to come back 2 days later and pick up right where we left off.
The 3-1 line straight back. Off the pole right in front of us.
Well, this is a great battle here worked by Charles Davalon, who saw a strike and then watched 3 straight balls go by, but now having a battle.
The 3-2 pitch got him swinging. Tanner Smith, punches out Charles Davalon, his 4th strikeout so far, as he strands Advincula and Klein on second and third. So the score remains 1-0 through 3 here at Lowell Park. We head to the top of the 4th here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willowbend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willowbend. Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752. Discover.
Thatcher Hurd back out for his 4th inning of work and getting set to face off against the 2-3-4 batters of this Falmouth lineup as Matt Klein throws down the last warm-up toss from Hurd. Leading things off is Jack Bell. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Leading off Falmouth, number 7, Jack Bell.
Hurd today has gone 3 innings, hasn't allowed a hit or a run, has just allowed 1 free pass and has struck out 4, making his second start this summer. So here's the second baseman, Bell. Hurd starts him out with a first pitch fastball that misses for ball number 1. Bell played in 19 games at his freshman season at Texas A&M, hit .250 in 16 at-bats. The 1-0 pitch from Hurd laid off for ball 2. 2 of his 4 hits went for extra bases, hit a double, hit a home run, drove in 4 RBIs. As the 2-0 pitch to Bell popped up high down the third base line, giving it a look is Nolan Naraki, but he runs out of room as that ball reaches the stands.
Have to like what you've seen from Hurd so far. 37 total pitches, 25 of which have been strikes. Pounding the zone at a high clip, and it's paid dividends. Everyone's put the ball in play except for 4 strikeouts and a walk.
The 2-1 pitch taken high and outside for ball 3.
You know, and you like that. You kind of like that rhythm from Hurd there. He knows he misses that one high and wide, shakes his head up and down. He gets back on the rubber, wants to get back out there and throw another good pitch. And now behind in the count against the leadoff man. This is a really important pitch here.
The 3-1 pitch. This one hit on the ground to the second baseman Advincula. Fields cleanly, throw in time to nab Jack Bell for the first out here in the top of the 4th.
You know, the Cotuit offense last night seemingly came alive in the second half of that game with 4 runs in the 7th inning, but to continue to allow the leadoff base runners to get on base for Falmouth at the second half of that game really stopped any sort of momentum that Cotuit was trying to build. I mean, each of the last 3 innings last night, of course, they didn't play the 9th inning, Falmouth did, but they put the leadoff man on, and that allowed them to kind of linger in the ball game and not let Cotuit build on anything and get the offense going.
Definitely a good point that you mentioned, Joe. Also, the Falmouth pitching staff doing a good job limiting with runners in scoring position when Cotuit got him. They struggled to bring him in as the 0-1 pitch waved through and missed. Pretty breaking ball from Thatcher Hurd there as Luke Gaffney finds himself down in the count 0-2 here.
And this is just a great response here from Thatcher Hurd, who's thrown 3 really strong pitches in a row.
The 0-2 pitch to Gaffney. Hit once again to Advincula. Plays it on a hop. Throw is in time to nab Gaffney. So back-to-back groundouts to Jaron Advincula at second as there's quickly 2 gone here in the top of the 4th.
Well, that's 2 straight groundouts to second base. Both pitches low and outside in the zone and low and inside. First one to the lefty, Bell low and in, causes him to roll over, and Gaffney kind of chasing outside going after it. So really nice job from Thatcher Hurd to locate the fastball low in the zone, away from these batters, and really not much they can do with it when it's down there.
Hurd, his 43rd pitch of the ball game, finds the strike zone here against the cleanup man, Trent Caraway. 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging. Part of the 3 strikeout second inning for Hurd as he hits this one up the middle. Fielding it cleanly is Cerny. Did he do it again? He did! What a play by Tyler Cerny, gloving it and making the spinning throw to nab Trent Caraway. So 2 excellent plays by the Kettleers shortstop as we head to the bottom half of the inning with Cotuit leading 1-0 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
On Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today. Coastal Rentals is the place to go.
Two excellent plays by Tyler Cerny at shortstop, and he's set to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth as Cotuit has a 1-0 lead. As Falmouth goes to its bullpen for the first time today, so Tanner Smith goes 3 innings, allows 1 hit, 1 run, that run not earned, walked 3 and struck out 4, tossing 60 pitches. As the new arm is Riley Stanford.
Riley Stanford coming off of a year at Georgia Tech where he was trying to bridge the gap between being a fielding player, a two-way player, and a pitcher. Only has 21 games played in the field so far at Georgia Tech across 2 seasons and has ran into a bunch of bumps on the road across his first couple years in college, but a highly touted high school pitcher and also batter. So has a lot of potential, but has had to face a lot of adversity, and now making his way to the Cape pitching for Falmouth this summer.
Stanford's first pitch to Cerny missed, but goes back with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that Cerny just fouled straight in front of home plate. This is the 6th appearance so far for Stanford this summer. Has an 0-2 record, a 7 ERA. Has gone 9 innings, allowed 18 hits. 7 runs, has walked 2 batters and struck out 16. Has been hurt by the home run ball, surrendering 2 deep flies. The 1-1 pitch to Cerny hit slowly, evades the glove of Stanford, goes right to the shortstop Willits. His throw in time to nab Cerny for the first out of the inning as one shortstop grounds out to the other to begin the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, and a couple great plays by Tyler Cerny in the 3rd and 4th innings. First the diving stop to end the 3rd, and then the spin-around throw behind second to end the 4th inning. A couple of ground outs as a batter so far today, but has made a big difference in the field and, of course, is the reason the Kettleers have that 1-0 advantage.
Now it's Brandon Compton. Compton today 0 for 1 with a fly out. The first pitch to him misses low and in tight for ball 1. We talk about momentum so much. I feel like every single game, those are 2 momentum-boosting plays for Tyler Cerny and the Kettleers as Compton rips this one foul down the right field line.
Well, I mean, there are those moments where you can easily kind of define a momentum shift, you know, especially in other sports. It's kind of easier to make the comparison, like an interception or a fumble. Those are obviously momentum-shifting plays. And for baseball, there are so many little plays in the game that minor things like a ground out.
Compton hits this one deep in the air, going up, and that ball is well out of here. The right fielder, Jason Jones, gave it a look, but Compton deposits it over the right field wall as he blasts his 3rd home run of the summer. And with one swing of the bat, Cotuit has a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, any sort of momentum in this ball game belongs to the Kettleers right now. An absolute bomb off the bat of Brandon Compton, deep right center field. That one catapulting off the bat at 97 miles an hour, 389 feet for Compton, and his 3rd homer as a Kettleer.
Compton extends his hitting streak to 6 games. As that one was a deep blast, Becerra swings away at the first pitch. Chopper right to the second baseman, Bell, who retires Becerra for the second out of the inning. But just right as we were talking about momentum and Tyler Cerny making a couple of great plays in the field, Brandon Compton blasts his third home run.
And there you go. There's one of those big momentum-shifting plays that we were talking about, like an interception, a fumble. Right there, a home run. No better way to put your team in the driver's seat in this game. And with great pitching, great fielding, as Mike Roberts says, they should be able to get the job done. But, of course, so much baseball to be played.
Compton now, in his last 6 games, 7 for 18 with a home run, 2 RBI. So definitely swinging a hot bat is the left fielder. Rocky looks at the next offering from Stanford. That's in there for a strike. So 1-1 is the count here with 2 outs in the inning. Hiraki 0 for 1 today, popped up to end the bottom of the second to the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette. The 1-1 pitch misses outside for ball 2. That's the third home run surrendered by Riley Stanford. Kicks and deals the 2-1 pitch. Misses low. So Naraki finds himself in hitter's count, up 3-1 here. Cotuit with just 2 hits, but they have 2 runs. As the 3-1 pitch looked at for strike 2. So the count runs full here against Nolan Naraki, who just entered the transfer portal and quickly found his new destination, transferring to South Carolina. The full count pitch on the way. Hit hard to the shortstop Willits. Fields with the backhand, the throw in time to nab the speedy Naraki for the third out of the inning. However, Cotuit adds to its advantage with a solo home run by Brandon Compton. They now lead 2-0, and we will send it down to field level with Adele Huffman, who has more.
Bruce, you've planned the parade for quite some time now. What goes into planning a special event like that?
Well, it's been about 40 years of planning that community has been involved with, from the little youth kids running and coming up and down to now you see the church with the brigade picking up food on the side. The fans just love coming out.
And a day like today, what's the most special part about having July 4th at Lowell Park?
I think you can just see how special it is. I mean, from 9 o'clock this morning when people come in, we have the bouncy houses here, everybody's here, you see everybody around the sidelines, 4 deep. It's just a great feeling of baseball. You can feel it in the air, and it's a very good family community experience.
Thank you, Bruce. I know we all appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe and Alex.
Excellent work once again from Adele. And just such a cool moment to talk to Bruce, who does an excellent job planning all this, and such a great day capped off by a great baseball game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of credit needs to be given to the people who put on this parade every single year, Bruce Murphy being one of them. And obviously the general manager for the Kettleers handles so much that as fans and as people watching at home, they just don't see the amount of work that someone like Bruce puts in. So seeing this around the ballpark and seeing everybody enjoy it, it's super cool for us to be a part of it. I'm sure it's even cooler for Bruce to enjoy it as well.
Always such a cool day, and that was something that Mike Roberts talked about last night with Adele, just saying how cool of a moment it is and talking about some of his favorite moments, maybe not so favorite moments, and recalling some times where he's dunked in the dunk tank. Didn't have that this year, but he said a lot of the players just aimed and tried to dunk him, but no dunk tank for Mike Roberts. Did throw a lot of BP pitches.
Yeah.
So have to ice his arm. But he did a great job as a lot of fans came out, tried to hit home runs here. Had a couple of foul home runs.
Yep.
I think the farthest ball was 360, 370. So there were a couple of deep shots.
Yeah, one that was just underneath the scoreboard in left center, off the fence out there. I think that was the furthest one we saw. You know, sometimes you get someone who's clearly swung the bat before up there, and I think we had a few of those today. But super cool for Roberts to be out there throwing BP, and he's used to it. I don't know if he needs too much ice. Have to ask him what the routine is.
definitely need to know is the 1-1 pitch to Turley here, fouled straight back into the fence behind home plate. Someone hit 2 foul home runs, just couldn't straighten it out. Right down the line in left field.
And not by much either. You know, these are decent home runs, and maybe about 10 feet to the left of the pole.
It was close. I thought he had it off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-2 pitch. This one might be gone off the bat, and it is. Capped off by a bat flip of Gavin Turley as Thatcher Hurd left a breaking ball right down the heart of the plate as Turley smacks a home run and cuts the Cotuit lead in half as Falmouth trails 2-1.
Yeah, towering drive off the bat of Gavin Turley gave that one a one-way ticket into the trees in deep left center. Nearly hit the flagpole out there. That is waving away towards the trees, away from home plate. Giving some help to Turley's bomb, but he didn't really need any of it as that ball was crushed. And they saw the Cotuit lead in half. Wow, a bomb. 437 feet.
The first home run for Turley this summer. Crushed.
We'll have to check on that, but it's hard to believe if somebody's hit one further than that this season.
I don't believe not at Lowell Park. That ball just absolutely crushed. So what a way to belt your first home run of the summer. Picks up RBI number 3 as 1-1 is the count here against the catcher, Scott Mudler. Big home run for Turley, a guy who was struggling so far through his first 3 games this summer. Came into today 1 for 9 with 6 strikeouts. Struck out in his first at-bat today, but improves it as he's 1 for 2 so far with that home run. 1-2 is the count here against Scott Mudler. Mudler pops this one high over the press box and foul. Mudler today 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 of 4 strikeouts for Hurd today. Playing in his first game with the Commodores. Hit .291 at Oklahoma. Looks at a breaking ball that catches the strike zone as Mudler set down on strikes once again as he looks at the beautiful breaking ball from Hurd, his 5th K of the day.
Well, Hurd needed to respond right after giving up that home run. He does so perfectly there to get Mudler on strikes, who tried at a couple of pitches in that, or just one pitch in that count, but a high strike thrower is Hurd, and he threw 5 there on Mudler to get back.
Swing away at the first pitch is the right fielder Jason Jones, a towering pop-up that Tyler Cerny gloves for the second out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out, as Jason Jones is out number 2 here in the inning.
Yeah, more weak contact there drawn by Thatcher Hurd, who's now up to 5 strikeouts on his outing and 1 out away from completing 5 innings pitched. A bit of a step up from his last time out where he went 3 2/3, but a much better start for him even despite giving up that solo shot.
54 pitches, 39 strikes for the righty. Now it's the 8th man in this Falmouth order, Isaiah Barquette, who looks at the first pitch fastball for strike number 1 from Hurd. That one sitting at 93 miles an hour, so good velocity from the righty that's currently in the transfer portal. The 0-1, chopped foul. Believe that. Ball hit the bat twice. Came back and just hit it once again right toward that Kettleer dugout. But regardless, the count is 0-2 here against the first baseman, who's 0 for 1 today with a flyout to Brandon Compton in left field. Barquette tripled last night. It's the 0-2 breaking ball. Hit slowly on the ground to the first baseman, Tanner Thatch, who fields, takes it to the bag himself for a 3 unassisted to end the top of the 5th. However, Falmouth, they score their first run of the game on the solo home run by Gavin Turley, as it's the first hit of the day for the Commodores. As we head to the bottom of the 5th with Cotuit leading 2-1, and when we come back from this commercial break, my broadcast partner Joe Pratt will take you the rest of the way here from Lowell Park. Don't go anywhere.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Bottom of the fifth inning, and the top of the order for the Kettleers is due up against Riley Stanford. As we welcome you back in, Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, Adele Huffman on the sideline, Jimmy Chantulis and Cam Christie on the controls. So we move into the bottom of the fifth inning with Cotuit leading 2-1, and Jaron Advincula will face Riley Stanford. Working primarily from the stretch, his first pitch to Advincula is on the outer half for a strike one. Not often that you see Jaron Advincula take that first pitch in the count. Does so here. 85-mile-an-hour turner from Stanford, and he's ahead. Same pitch, low and inside, but he takes. Count evens at 1-1. So just finishing up his 2024 season at Georgia Tech as Stanford, went 2-1, a 5.94 ERA. In 19 relief appearances. That one's cracked to second. Bell stepping back on it and now throws in time to get Advincula at first for the first out of this fifth inning.
That ball just kind of fluttered off the bat of Advincula, so an easy play for Jack Bell at second base. But, of course, with the speed of Advincula, always a threat to really speed up your thought process out in the infield. But Bell stays down on that ball and makes the play for the first out.
Yeah, so Advincula now 0 for 2. Of course, we mentioned it, 7 straight multi-hit games for him. Just a walk today. So now here's Tanner Thatch. And he takes up and inside. Thatch is 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first, a fly out to center field in the third. So we talked about Thatch's struggles when he falls behind in the count. That one actually called a strike one. And now he shoots this one into the left center field alleyway. Gaffney tracking in and has out number 2.
This is a good bounce back for Stanford out on the mound after giving up the solo bomb to Brandon Compton, getting 2 outs to end last inning, and of course weak contact here to begin the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, Stanford working into his second inning. Pitched in the fourth, retired 3 of the 4 batters he faced. It was just Brandon Compton's solo shot that met the trees in right center, the only mistake for him. And much similarly to the top of the fifth inning, this inning for Thatcher Hurd, who gave up just the solo shot to Turley, and then 3 up, 3 down from there. So for Stanford, has kind of struggled through his first 5 appearances of the season, but settling things down here as the bridge man today for Jeff Trundy's Commodores, as the count's 1-1 now. To Matt Klein. He's 0 for 1, but has reached twice, once on a walk and once on an error. The 1-1 pitch is high. So Matt Klein facing Riley Stanford, who, a highly touted player out of high school, was headed to Georgia Tech, nearly following in the footsteps of his dad, who played at Georgia Southern in the early 90s, but choosing the Yellow Jackets as the 2-1 pitch is laced straight back. He said his recruitment was really affected during the COVID season as he was a senior in high school, and then took an official visit to Georgia Tech, and then later on committed at the end of the summer in 2023, but was the number 2 outfielder out of the state of Georgia Now this one's lifted into left, and Gaffney hauls down the third out. So Riley Stanford, off of his first complete season at Georgia Tech, finishes off the Kettleers and has pitched 2 innings, has allowed 1 run on 1 hit, and it was the solo home run for Brandon Compton. As we move in to the top of the 6th inning with Cotuit still leading 2-1 here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Thatcher Hurd heads out to the bump to start his 6th inning of work. He's allowed just 1 run on 1 hit, and Alex, he has been stellar after his first start at Bourne. He ran into some issues, but now getting his 2nd start, the first one at Lowell Park. And what have you liked from him so far?
He's been excellent today. The first 8 batters were retired by Thatcher Hurd and has just made 1 mistake. Of course, the home run to Gavin Turley has only allowed 1 hit, just 3 hits so far in this ball game. 2, of course, have left the yard, but Thatcher Hurd, he's throwing strikes, and that was something that Mike Roberts talked about last night with James Ellwanger. Fell behind a lot of hitters last night, and he said that Thatcher Hurd, that veteran presence, is something that he's looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, being today, and well, Hurd has definitely lived up to it. 57 pitches, 42 strikes, something that you're never going to complain about.
Yeah, 57 pitches through 5 innings of work. Been incredibly efficient. And now he starts off Jimmy Nadai with a strike who fouls it off. So that's exactly what you want, to keep the pitch count low, trust the defense, and the defense has been stellar. Plenty of ground balls, a few flyouts. 1 on the infield, though, and a couple of line drives into the outfield. So there really hasn't been too much damage other than that home run. And then a couple of really hard-hit line drives by Jason Jones and Isaiah Barquette back in the 3rd inning. Those both, of course, being outs. And he no-hit the Commodores through 4 innings. And now once again, ahead in the count. Jimmy Nadai down 0-2. He walked in the 3rd. And the payoff. Hurd can't get it to touch the bottom of the zone at 89. So it's 1-2, and talked about that veteran presence from Hurd. Has been able to experience a lot in his college baseball career. Of course, starting the 2022 College World Series championship game a year ago for Louisiana State. As his 1-2 pitch falls into the box for a called strike 3. 6th strikeout of the day for Thatcher Hurd, and it retires Jimmy Nadai to start off this 6th.
Such a pretty breaking ball from Hurd there. Nadai just watched it in all the way, and he's had control of all of his pitches, but that breaking ball just a thing of beauty here so far today.
Hurd's a guy who has just so much experience going into this summer. Spent his freshman season at UCLA. Hit the transfer portal after that to play his sophomore and junior seasons at LSU. Now the rising senior out of Southern California. Getting his first looks in the Cape League. Played summer ball before heading to UCLA. Played in the West Coast League in 2021. Played for Bellingham. So it's interesting to see guys who are able to play a little bit of summer ball, get some experience for him up in Canada, and then go down, play your collegiate season. Things not working out for him in his first season at UCLA, so making the switch to LSU. And after winning the national championship, he said that was the best decision he's ever made.
He was dominant in those College World Series appearances, made 3 appearances, had a 2-1 record, 2.25 ERA, and struck out 13 hitters in 12 innings. So definitely elite stuff from Hurd, but looking to find his new home.
The 1-2 to Willits misses outside. Willits 0 for 2. And also a guy who was recently in the transfer portal up until earlier today. Willits at Oklahoma this past season. 274 hitter there in 49 games, and now he lifts this one to straightaway center field. That takes Kian Vu back towards the warning track, or the fence at least, and he pulls it down for the second out. So Jackson Willits, finishing up his season at Oklahoma, will head to Tennessee next fall.
Willits gave that ball a ride, but Vu tracking it the entire way, took him nearly to the fence, but just a long fly ball in the second out here in the inning.
Now here's Jack Bell. So far 0 for 2 on Thatcher Hurd today. His first pitch that he sees is a breaking ball that falls in, that curveball at 78. Nothing that Jack Bell can do with that as it enters in on the back door. He's already struck out today in the first inning, grounded out in the fourth. So the top half of this order, no hits amongst the first 4 for Falmouth. Of course, just 1 hit in the order overall. It's Gavin Turley's homer and the only other base runner, Jimmy Nadeye. So Cotuit giving Falmouth a bit of their taste of their own medicine from yesterday as the pitch is tipped into the glove or off the glove of Klein. And now he's still ahead in the count 1-2. So Kettleers, no hit through 6 innings yesterday against Matthew Dallas. Couldn't be different today. For Cotuit at least, as they got that early lead. But a pitcher's duel brewing as the 1-2 pitch is hit hard down the left field line, twisting towards the corner, going back on it Compton, and he makes the catch just in front of the left field foul pole. Another ball that's given a ride, that time off the bat of Jack Bell, but it ends up being the 3rd out of this bottom of the 6th inning. So how about 6 1-hit, 1-run innings for Thatcher Hurd, and the Kettleers lead it 2-1 as we go to the home half of the 6th here on the Ketts Digital Network.
30+ years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752. Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willowbend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willowbend. Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's
Bottom of the 6th inning, heart of the lineup for the Kettleers coming up. It'll be Kian Vu, who's 0 for 2, facing Riley Stanford. For the first time, he'll be the second to last batter that Stanford hasn't faced so far today. First pitch misses, and it's ball 1 to Kian Vu, who a ground out his last time up, advanced 2 runners into scoring position where they were both left, so a quality at bat for him. Still looking for that first hit as he tips it into the glove, and it's 1-1. So we're joined now by Kettleers writer Connor Smith. How's your 4th of July been so far?
Well, Joe, it's been absolutely phenomenal. We had the parade this morning, then some events for the kids, The interns got about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go home, just chill out, and now we're back at the park to, finish off this great day.
Yeah, I know. It's a day that's packed full of activities, and that first half of the day can really take a lot out of you, and we still got a baseball game to be played, so. But it's a good one. Hasn't disappointed to this point. 2-1, Kettleers lead. 2-1 in the hit column as well, and Kean Vu's 2-1 is called a strike 2. So your favorite inflatable game around Lowell Park today?
I'm going to have to go with the little basketball, Papa Shot. Big basketball guy. I only shot 6 for 10, but, it's not bad.
6 for 10?
We'll take it.
That's elite numbers right there.
Yeah, from 3 feet away.
Never mind then.
I mean, those inflatable hoops, I think it's rigged. Every time I shot it, it just bounced right off the back, and I guess maybe it's just not my game.
It wasn't mine either.
Kean Vu goes down on strikes. The first strikeout of the afternoon for Riley Stanford, who works into his third inning of work, and now that'll bring up Charles Davalon. So, Connor,
Mr.
recently working on a feature story of Jaron Advincula, a guy who leads the league in batting average and someone who has been such a struggle to get out for these pitchers. What did you take from doing that story with him and just kind of being able to talk more about his game?
He's obviously been killing it this year. Number one in, I think, OPS, batting average, all that. He was doing similar things at Cal, so he just took it to the Cape League. He's been really locked in throughout all his at-bats, and
Davalon ground ball to first. Barquette's flip is in time.
Yeah, he took it to the Cape League and has been a really, really good, consistent contact hitter. Just staying locked in, kind of like what Compton was doing, and he's seen results.
I think that's something that's been pretty consistent across this entire Kettleers lineup. They put the ball in play, haven't struck out too much, and Advincula just his third strikeout of the season earlier in today's game, so pretty incredible. Tyler Cerny gets tied up by a 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Stanford, and it's 0-1. So Cerny 0 for 2 today. So another guy that you're able to have a few words about, Tyler Cerny, your, host brother. Is that the right term?
I would say
host teammate.
Host brother, roommate, that kind of whatever you want to say.
He grounds it to third, and up with it is Caraway. His throw in time at first to get Cerny there. So a 3-up, 3-down inning worked by Riley Stanford. You'll hear more from Connor Smith when we return in the top of the 7th. But before we send things there, Adele Huffman has some more with us at field level. Adele?
Thatcher Hurd with a very successful freshman year at UCLA, traveling on to play at LSU, and in 2023 bringing in the win for LSU at the College World Series. Opening for us tonight as our pitcher and having the most outings for a Ketts pitcher so far this summer. It's great to see what he can do on the mound, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this game pans out. Back to you, Joe and Alex.
Thanks, Adele. Great information as always, and Kettleers getting a massive start from Thatcher Hurd today. Connor, Alex, we were talking about it before coming back on. It's the longest outing by a Kettleers starter so far this season. And how huge is that, not only for the bullpen, but to just eat up the first 5 innings of this game and hold them to 1 run?
I feel like we've talked about this a bunch so far this year, just getting contributions from the Kettleers bullpen, but also doing a good job saving arms. And, of course, Thatcher Hurd does that today. Throws 70 pitches through 6 innings, the longest start this year for the Kettleers. And the longest start Thatcher Hurd has made in a while this past year at LSU. His longest outing was just 5 2/3 innings pitched, and only pitched 6 full innings during his sophomore year. That was twice. But a much-needed outing for Hurd. Talked about his struggles early on against Bourne. Settled into that game. But, boy, he had his control from the opening pitch today.
Yeah, he did. A man who, as we just mentioned, it started the College Baseball World Series Championship in 2023 for LSU. That was the end of his sophomore year, and then his junior season this year, and now being able to add another feather to his cap and starting a 4th of July game. But not only doing that, doing so in 6 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, struck out 6 batters, and kind of similar to the start that he had in the College Baseball World Series.
Yeah, I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal the first 2 years in college. Had a little bit of a down year this past year at LSU. He's really impressed me today because, I mean, as you saw, Joe, his last outing against Bourne had some trouble finding the strike zone today. Over 70% of his pitches were in the zone. Only, I believe, 70 pitches through 6 innings, like you said, longest outing of a Kettleer this year, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, someone who isn't fazed by much. He said he wanted to make the transition to being a pitcher in high school because he kind of liked the moment, liked everybody looking at him. And 3 years later, he's starting a College World Series baseball game. And so for him to be out here on the 4th of July and perform like that, got to be cool for him to experience. And now a new pitcher is into the game for the Kettleers. Thatcher Hurd's day will be done. It'll be the heart of the lineup for Falmouth: Luke Gaffney, Trent Caraway, and Gavin Turley. The only damage that Falmouth has done today, of course, that solo home run off the bat of Turley. He'll bat third in this inning. But first, it's Luke Gaffney, 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. And another guy on this roster, and both of these rosters, who recently announced that he will transfer to Clemson. A closed-off stance. He fans and misses at the first pitch. So we talked about Nolan Naraki, Nathan Hall. They're making the move from Clemson to South Carolina. Here's Gaffney. Headed to Clemson this fall. So now the next pitch that he sees, just finished up his 2024 season at Purdue. A 349 hitter there, was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And headed into this 2-game series as a top 3 player in batting average in the CCBL. As he flares this one to right field, Charles Davalon is under it, and there's one gone.
Gaffney's such a tough hitter to really get out, but Cotuit in these back-to-back games has done a good job limiting his power. 1 for 5 last night, 0 for 3 today, so 1 for 8 Luke Gaffney over the last 2 games. And mention his numbers at Purdue: 349 average, 13 home runs, 65 RBIs. Has just continued that this summer, and just such a tough player to get out.
Yeah, Gaffney goes back to 0 for 3, and now Trent Caraway. The defense doing a really nice job tonight, particularly Tyler Cerny at shortstop. And, Connor, we've been able to talk a lot about his bat and how impressive that's been at Indiana, but not a lot gets talked about his fielding maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the
line shot at second. Advincula hauls down out number 2.
Yeah, that's absolutely, his, the second thing that gets talked about, because he was just phenomenal this year at the plate in Indiana. He's been kind of inconsistent defensively. I know he's really hard on himself, but over the last few days, we've seen him make some really good plays. Hopefully that's going to be more consistent and, turn into being a better overall defender.
Yeah, it's not always about the mistake, but the way you respond, and it seems
Absolutely.
like every time Cerny makes a mistake, he responds every single time, whether it's at the plate, in the field. And now the new batter, Gavin Turley, hot off of his first home run of the summer. He's 1 for 2, but yeah, to be able to respond after making mistakes, I think that's something that the entire Kettleers infield has done well. As the 0-1 pitch is outside at 77 miles an hour. So Gavin Turley making his return to Falmouth this summer. Owns the only run in this ball game for the Commodores. And I think some of that veteran presence, we saw it today from Thatcher Hurd, but to have a guy on that infield just must be so important, especially when you have other players like Jaron Advincula, a freshman, playing about 25 feet away from him. I mean, that's got to be so beneficial for Advincula to have a veteran presence in the middle infield.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and Advincula holds his own defensively, but, like you said, having a defensive or a veteran out there with him. The infield is fairly young. I mean, Thatch and Cerny just now finished up their sophomore years. Nolan Araki's not gotten a whole lot of play at Clemson. Advincula, like you said, true freshman. So they're all growing together, but I've been really impressed with these young guys and how well they've done defensively.
Gavin Turley will accept ball 4. He heads to first. So still 1 for 2 today with a walk now.
45, the catcher from Oklahoma, Scott Mutler.
Advincula with no errors so far this season. And you can kind of see them building chemistry at second base. Didn't really have too much of that in the first few games played, but we've seen them start to turn more double plays and have more looks at that. So that's really promising to see if you're paying attention to this Ket's middle infield.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say they, over the last few games, have definitely been building chemistry, and that happens when you're consistently playing together. And, of course, this same infield made 10 consecutive starts. Last night, Timo Becerra played shortstop, but Mike Roberts back, going with this same infield again. So you can see the chemistry building between Advincula and Cerny, and they've combined for a few double plays. And it's just always so pretty to Cerny making those 2 plays earlier today. Advincula with a couple of plays in the field. They've just done such an excellent job up the middle.
0-2 to Mudler is called to strike 3 on the outside corner. So Cade Fisher in his first Cotuit inning gets his first strikeout and completes the top of the 7th frame. Stranding 1 runner on first, Cotuit still leads at 2-1 as we go to the home half of the 7th here on the Kets Digital Network.
On Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Broadcast Network.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 7, 8, and 9 for the Kettleers. Will face the new pitcher on for the Commodores, Bowen Baker. Left-handed pitcher, finished up his senior year at Fairfield this past spring. A 6'2", 195-pound left-handed pitcher. And he will face Brandon Compton, who just belted his 3rd home run earlier today back in the 4th inning. Connor, that must have been awesome to watch from down there.
Absolutely. I mean, it was just a monster shot. You know, he got a little bat flip in there. You know, he was feeling it for sure. But I mean, why not? I mean, the man hit it over 400 feet. Just really excited to see my guy Brandon just succeeding because great guy, great ball player, all that.
Yeah, another one of those Arizona State Sun Devils playing alongside Kian Vu, playing in straightaway center field. Of course, that's kind of a theme that we've seen a lot, is sending 2 guys to teams. Coaches from colleges will send a couple guys to specific college rosters, not send them alone, and I think that can be really beneficial. And I don't know, just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you have the chemistry with the guys, I mean, you're going to play a lot more smoothly. I mean, it's kind of like what we saw with P.J. Moutsaritas and Jaron Advincula, because they grew up together, played together in high school, played at Cal. So, I mean, if you have chemistry like that, just come into the game, or the league, that is, you're going to play a lot more smooth, and you won't see as many growing pains like we saw the first 3 or 4 games from the Cats.
0-2 pitch to Compton. Looked like that nearly hit him. Could have hit the knob of his bat. Tough to tell. Hit something and then popped down to hit his back foot. maybe it was the catcher's glove, but it's a 1-2 count to Brandon Compton, who's 1 for 2. But yeah, I think that's a good point that you bring up, is guys who come out here and they're able to not have any growing pains. You know, you're fluid in the infield because you played with them before, but we're now starting to see that same chemistry develop between Cerny and Advincula, and it's evident. This one's rolled on the ground towards second. Jack Bell is up with it throwing, and Brandon Compton makes the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Joe, but at the same time, though, I think it's kind of beneficial for guys to learn how to play with other people because obviously they're playing together in college, but once they get out, hopefully for them, in the MLB or the minor league system, something like that, you're not going to be playing with your best friends every day, all day. So I think it's nice for them to come in and learn how to play with the guys that they don't go to school with every day. So,
yeah, definitely something new for Advincula to experience because he's played with Mutsaritas in high school, goes on to play over 50 games with him this season at Cal. So that's a good point that you bring up, kind of mending that relationship with a different middle infielder, and he hasn't missed a beat.
Nope.
So now the batter is Grant J. Takes a big cut at the first pitch he sees and goes back to 0-1 on Bowen Baker. So Grant J. will bat for Timo Becerra in the DH spot. And takes low and outside. So Grant J., a big opportunity here, really ran into a rough patch in his last few games. But Connor, you were able to talk to him at the beginning of the season saying how he made one minor adjustment that really helped him cut down on the strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, his biggest thing was his hands were about like above his head, above his shoulders.
Right, by his right ear kind of.
Yeah, and I mean, whenever you do that, like obviously he's still getting the same swing off, but also when you're that high, it's harder to get a fluid, swing. And by moving his hands down, he was able to get a more fluid swing, just feel more comfortable. That helped him for a while, but he's also, like you said, gone through a rough patch. I mean, I think being in the Cape Cod League, getting used to the different fields, pitchers, all that has taken a toll.
Gets a piece of that one, but rolls a spinner towards Will Thompson at first base.
Willie T.
I mean, you have to assume Willie T is soaking all of this in, hopefully. I mean, he's definitely locked in on the game, but you hope he's able to soak it in somewhat because this is his 4th of July celebrated down here in Cotuit. 2-2 to Jay. Bounces way up high off the screen. So 3-2 to Jay. That rain that was coming down earlier in this ball game seems to have stopped, but still cloudy skies overhead as a broken bat. Grant Jay keeps the count at 3-2.
Baker just attacking Jay on the inner part of the plate there as Jay breaks his bat. But you talked about the adjustments that Jay made at the plate. Of course, saw the results pretty much right after it. Blasted 2 home runs, also hit a double, but going through a rough patch here. But he's just such a talented hitter. Hit 21 home runs this past year at DBU, and we of course know the potential that Jay has at the dish.
Sitting here with the 3-2 count and a new bat, different barrel too. 3-2 pitch, he skies it into center field. Turley making his way under it. Right fielder, actually, Jaden Jones will pull it down.
16, Nolan Rocky, third baseman, Clemson.
So Jay goes 0 for 1 in his pinch hit appearance. Timo Becerra was 0 for 1 on his day and also walked. Now here's Nolan Naraki. So we saw kind of a shuffling up of the lineup with the way that 8, 9, and 1 performed for Falmouth yesterday. Mike Roberts maybe kind of trying that strategy today with his normal leadoff man in the 9 spot. How big is that to kind of bookend the lineup with guys who can get on base at 9 and then someone like Advincula leading off?
I mean, it's massive. The new strategy nowadays is to obviously have your leadoff hitter at the 1 spot, but also a lot of guys like to bring a guy who maybe is your best contact or speed guy, put him at the 9 hole, so you have basically 2 leadoff guys coming in. And I like the process and the thought process from Roberts, but I mean, with a guy like Advincula batting 447, I think you probably need to bat him leadoff.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to see him hidden down in the lineup below 6th. Until today, first leadoff appearance as the 0-2 pitch is sent on a chopper towards shortstop. Willits' throw is in time at first to get Naraki charging up that first base line. The entire Cotuit dugout, and Mike Roberts can't believe it. But it is a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the 7th inning. Down go the Kettleers, but it's still 2-1 through 7 from Lowell Park. And big thanks to Connor Smith for joining us in the booth again.
Well, Joe, I appreciate the opportunity to come up here with you and Alex. Like I said, great day for some baseball. For hopefully, you're with your family. If you're listening to us at home,
yep.
Hopefully you're with your family watching the baseball game, just soaking all the 4th of July stuff in.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you, and we'll send it to the top of the 8th inning. Cotuit leads 2-1.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. Cotuit hanging on to a 2-1 lead. And the bottom of the order, Jason Jones, Isaiah Barquette, and Jimmy Nadai will get their first looks on Christian Becerra, who makes his Cotuit debut. So we go from Cade Fisher, who throws 1 inning, walked 1, struck out 1. And now Christian Becerra out of Cal. So another Cal Bear joining this roster, coming off of a great campaign at Cal this past season where he was all Pac-12 honorable mention. Finishing up his junior year, making 19 appearances, 18 of which were in relief. And now a 1-1 count to Jason Jones. Went 4-1 with a 3.68 ERA. A pair of guys who are coming off of a couple of monster campaigns out of this bullpen for Cade Fisher. Was on the All-SEC freshman team, and now to Christian Becerra, receiving honors from the Pac-12, and much similarly to his teammate standing right behind him at second base, Jaron Advincula, a Pac-12 first-teamer. So good to have that familiarity for Christian Becerra. The 1-1 pitch gets a big swing and miss out of Jason Jones, and it's 1-2.
Also a returner to the Cape, pitched last year with Hyannis in 2 appearances, went 2 2/3 innings pitched, so always good to have that familiarity.
And working quickly from the windup, 1-2 pitch is hammered down the left field line. It's going to twist foul just beyond that left field foul pole. Could see the reaction from Jason Jones. He knew he got all of it, but knew it was foul.
This is a big spot in this game. Just a 2-1 ball game, just 3 hits for these two squads. Doesn't really feel like it, but pitchers
Yeah, and Becerra picks up his first strikeout as a Kettleer, fanning Jason Jones to start off the top of the 8th, climbing the ladder. Yeah, this is a big inning, important at-bats here with just 3 hits on the board and 3 runs. You know that any swing of the bat, as we've already seen today, could really change the outcome of this game.
2 of those 3 hits have left the yard today,
right.
So the home run ball has been a big factor, although there's only been 3 hits, 2 of them, of course, being long bombs. So pitching is going to be crucial here in the late stages.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kettleers bullpen having to do a job in plenty of their 9 wins so far this season. As Cotuit getting their longest start from a starter this year, 6 innings pitched by Thatcher Hurd, so it's been a lot of bullpen combined efforts that have won them a lot of games, and that's exactly what Cade Fisher and Christian Becerra are trying to do here. So Isaiah Barquette is the batter. He's 0 for 2, a line drive to center field. Got him in the 3rd, and then a pop out on the infield. Now he swats one high and foul out of play. Behind in the count 1-2. He batted 9th last night, part of that 8-9-1 trio that went 8 for 11. He got 2 hits, went 2 for 3, also a sacrifice bunt that put a runner in scoring position who would eventually come around and score. So doing his job at the plate, Barquette. But looking for that first hit today. Down in the count 1-2 on Becerra. He saws one off into right field, charging in Davallon, but he will let it drop. And a 1-out single, just the 2nd hit of the day for Falmouth. It's off the bat of Isaiah Barquette.
Just a good piece of hitting from Barquette there. Fell behind in the count 1-2 and got a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Just not trying to do too much. Flares that into right field. And base hits have been extremely hard to come by in this game today. So when you can get one, you need to capitalize here for Falmouth.
So Barquette takes his lead on first, and now Jimmy Nadeye, who's 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. Didn't mean to swing there. He checks it and fouls it away. So a gift there for Christian Becerra, who's up in the count 0-1. And for Barquette, now that is 3 games in a row with a hit. So able to continue that streak, his on-base streak above 5 now. And with those red, white, and blue socks, he leads off of first. Actually, one of the socks is just the American flag with the red stripes as he takes off to second. Rolls it towards Advincula, who is going to cover the bag, but now in his position, makes the 2nd out.
A smart idea to go with the hit and run there. Advincula covering the bag, but does a good job peeling off of that stolen base, goes back, fields his position. So now there is a runner in scoring position as we head back to the top of the Falmouth order. But just a nice job by Advincula to field that ball cleanly and not cause too much havoc on the base paths.
Yeah, that's right. It's not really what you envision when you draw up that hit and run, but not too much damage done as the runner still advances into scoring position. Kind of works the same as a sacrifice bunt, which Barquette did a night ago, but now he leads off at second. So 0 for 2 on the day is Jimmy Nadeye. And here's Jackson Willits. Leadoff man is 0 for 3, but has put the ball in play each of his first 3 plate appearances. And now ahead in the count 2-0.
It's the first time today Falmouth has had a runner in scoring position. So a big moment here with 2 outs. And this is the right guy that you want up at the plate. Jackson Willits, coming off of a 3 for 4 performance last night. Came into this game with an average over 400.
And now takes a strike down low, 82 miles an hour. That looked pretty low. That's exactly what the Falmouth dugout thought, that's for sure. Yeah, Willits leads the team in batting average. And now he laces this one on the ground towards Advincula. Sliding stab, now he throws, and that's the 3rd out. So the Kettleers will strand one runner in scoring position. Christian Becerra completes his first inning as a Kettleer, and more strong defense keeps Cotuit in control 2-1 as we go to the home half of the eighth on the Cats Radio Network. Nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
And we're back for the bottom of the eighth inning. Cotuit leading 2-1. Jaron Advincula in the top of the order will lead things off. Advincula extended his on-base streak to 13 games, but that 7-game multi-hit streak could be coming to a close today as he's 0 for 2. A strikeout, a ground out, a walk, and a stolen base. But an opportunity here to lead off this top of the eighth inning. Cotuit trying to add some insurance runs as he lifts that one over Trent Caraway and into left field. Advincula was thinking about 2, but he will hold up at first with a leadoff single.
Advincula through 14 games this summer has been hitless in just 2 of them, and of course picks up a hit here. So just such a productive hitter to have wherever you want to put him in this Kettler lineup. Has hit 6th, has hit 8th, has hit 9th. Of course, he's leading off today. So just anywhere Mike Roberts wants to deploy Jaron Advincula, he's going to find success.
Got a big lead over at first. Of course, already a stolen base today. Thatch shows bunt, lays it down just in front of the mound. Up to get at the pitcher, throws to first. It's up the line. Thatch headed for second. Advincula running towards third. Thinking about sending him is Mike Roberts. He'll hold him up as it's relayed in by Jones. And finally, Cotuit getting to this Falmouth infield and drawing them for their second error of this ball game. But if you remember the last time we were here at Lowell Park, Cotuit doing that plenty in that 6th inning.
And on the bunt play, Baker fielded it cleanly, had a chance to nab Advincula at second, just decided against making the throw and just throws it up the first base line. And now this is a big spot here for Matt Klein. Runners on second and third and no out, and Falmouth bringing the infield in.
Infield in, not trying to allow Cotuit to, and that's a balk. They wanted to prevent Cotuit from adding insurance runs, but Bowen Baker balks while he was from the windup there. And Advincula scores the 3rd run of this ball game, and he's fired up.
That is a massive run for the Kettleers, a much-needed insurance run. Now you have a 2-run advantage heading into the top of the 9th.
Now this one's cracked into right center field. Charging in is Jones. He'll let it drop. Tanner Thatch, he's coming in from third. He will score. Throws cut off, and it's an RBI single for Matt Klein.
Matt Klein continues to deliver for the Kettleers, has made some excellent plays behind the dish and picks up another RBI here, just not trying to do too much. Lefty-lefty matchup, just flares it into right field and plenty deep enough for Tanner Thatch to come in and score. And, of course, he picks up a base knock. And now the Kettleers' bats have started to come alive as they double their hit total here, now up to 4.
Matt Klein not getting the start behind the dish a night ago, but has started in 4 of the last 5 games for the Kettleers, has a hit in each of them. So with no outs, Kian Vu will show bunt and pull it back. So Mike Roberts still trying to pile on with the small ball plays. You see Caraway from third crashing in, the runner taking a lead at first, of course being held on by Barkett. And now Vu lays down the bunt. Baker thinking about second. They get the lead out there, but Vu is safe at first.
And Vu just hit that bunt too hard right back at the pitcher Baker, who had plenty of time to get Matt Klein, who was attempting to go to second there, but just too slow of a turn to nab Vu for the double play.
Yeah, and they get the first out of this inning, so crucial to put that leadoff man on and keep the offense rolling. The first bunt resulting in an error on the infield, the second one not, but that time there, Mudler loses handle of the ball, and on his way to second goes Kian Vu. So while maybe the bunt isn't laid down, with Davallon leaning over the plate, potentially getting in the way of Mudler without interfering with him. So just drawing mistakes for the Commodores, the Kettleers have done, and it's pretty much all been on Mike Roberts' small ball as Vu taking a massive lead at second. Now they throw down there, but a bad throw and he's safe. They would have had him.
That's a good throw from Baker. Kian Vu is nailed at second, so a lucky break for the Kettleers as Vu with the head first dive and ultra aggressive on the base pass. Of course, just swiped second and was looking to get a big jump, but now expect to take a smaller lead.
1-0 pitch, Davallon swinging away. Mike Roberts cheering him on from third. You know he loves that aggressive base running. Turned around and said something to the Kettleers dugout, but then let out a laugh after that as the 1-1 pitch is rolled foul. So probably saying something like, don't do that, but, you know, he loves the aggressiveness.
Mike Roberts never going to be too afraid to send runners. The stolen base of Vu, the second swipe back for the Kettleers today, and just an area that Cotuit tries to pride itself on, stealing bases.
1-2 pitch, Davallon not showing bunt that time. Of course, 2 strikes in the count. Sends it to 2-2. So Davallon is 1 for 3, scored a run after singling in the second. Since then, a strikeout and a ground out. The 2-2. Pops it up. Caraway giving chase, but that will twist into the parking lot. Hits off that big green tent just in front of the store, and did somebody catch that? We got that on camera.
What a heck of an effort there. Making plays. Fans
Nice.
coming to play today.
What a camera switch by Jimmy T and Cam Christie, though. Producers on the controls, killing it as always. 2-2 pitch, hits Davallon on the right shoulder. Kian Vu was taking off for third. He will have to go back, but the Kets will put runners on first and second.
Vu got a big jump off second there. Would have easily swiped third, but that pitch just runs too far in tight and plunks Davallon. So he reaches for the second time today. And now this is a big spot for Tyler Cerny. Of course, you've scored 2 runs here, but you can never have too many insurance runs. Picked up the first RBI of today. Made a couple of really nice plays in the field, but this is a big spot. Talked about his struggles at the dish. If he gets a hit here, his confidence could definitely start to be regaining.
Absolutely. Big moment here for Cerny with 1 gone, and he laces it on the ground towards Caraway. He'll take it to the third base bag, look at first, but that'll be the only out he gets. So an unconventional 5 unassisted fielder's choice there. Cerny will advance to first. They'll have him on first and second again, this time with 2 outs.
From Arizona State, the left fielder, Brandon Compton.
Caraway thought about throwing it over to first base to double up Cerny, but just too fast down that first base line, so they'll settle for just the 1 out.
Now it's Brandon Compton. He's 1 for 3, blasting his 3rd home run of the summer. Back in the 4th inning. And that's still holding up as the 2nd run of the game if Cotuit pitching is able to hold Falmouth off the board in the 9th inning. Then that would hold up for the game-winning run. 0-1 pitch to Compton. Fake steal by both runners, and it's 0-2. So Bowen Baker, another appearance against the Kettleers, using his summer ball season last year to kind of transfer into a starting role this season at Fairfield. Started 13 games in 13 appearances. And now a hard ground ball to Caraway, spinning and throwing. It goes up the line, past the first baseman, Barquette. One run is in. He scurries over to get it. Cerny charging around third. The throw from deep first is in time. They got him. Tyler Cerny trying to be the 6th run for the Kettleers today. But Barquette cuts him down. The tag from Mudler was in time. And that will end the bottom of the 8th inning with the Kettleers leading 5-1 as we go to the 9th here on the Ketts Digital Network.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Of course, being the 4th of July, experiencing the great Cotuit parade today at the Village, and just a great look from overhead of what things looked like here in Cotuit today. That's right down Main Street, the big truck where all the Kettleers players were, throwing candy, throwing all sorts of things to all the fans who were packed on the sidewalks, watching their favorite team drive by, and now they are 3 outs away from closing out their 10th win of the season. But just a great way to start out the day, Alex, and a great holiday.
It was such an awesome moment. I had never experienced anything like that parade, but it was just so cool to see the entire village come out and support the Kettleers. It was an awesome day. A lot of players taking videos, interns taking videos, the fans taking videos of the Kettleers coming by. Just a great day. Kids interacting with the players, and this is what the holiday is about.
Yep.
Sharing America's national pastime, the game of baseball, and taking it to Cape Cod, and just an excellent day for the Kettleers, looking to cap off and get win number 10 this summer.
Yeah, that's what they're looking to do. A good start for Christian Becerra. Starts off Jack Bell with a strike. It's 0-1, but as mentioned earlier, this is something that these players likely will never forget, something in their playing career that not a lot of them probably have been able to experience when you think about guys like Thatcher Hurd, someone who's experienced so much in his young career, but a start on the 4th of July to go 6 innings, that's super cool. And Cade Fisher entering the game gets his first looks as a Kettleer, pitches well, and now Christian Becerra looking to close things out. He misses up and away to Jack Bell, and it's 1-2. But seeing the crowd that we got for the parade today and the Village coming out and supporting as the 1-2 pitch is fouled away, or excuse me, down the left field line. Compton giving chase. He has room, and he will make the catch. So there's one gone in this top of the 9th inning. Jack Bell goes back to 0 for 4. And here is Luke Gaffney.
Really nice job by Christian Becerra coming out of the bullpen. 19 pitches, 14 strikes, and that's been a common theme for the Kettleers pitching staff today, coming in, attacking early, and throwing strikes.
Becerra starts off Gaffney with a ball down low, 83 miles an hour. You know, and more on the parade, just so many people around and so many people packed on Main Street. Heard someone say, I don't think there's even this many people in the Village, in Cotuit. So just showing that people are driving in from distances, people coming in on vacation and supporting the Kettleers and supporting this town in any way that they can. And boy, what a great holiday to enjoy in Cotuit this summer as the 2-0 pitch is fouled into the glove of Klein, and it's 2-1.
And great weather we had during the parade today. Sunny skies. Of course, it's cloudy now, drizzled for a little bit, but just an excellent morning. Wasn't too hot, and just a perfect day for an even better parade.
And Cotuit trying to finish it off. The 2-1 pitch to Gaffney is a called strike 2. So Christian Becerra enters this game, his first appearance as a Kettleer, but has experienced a lot of baseball since 2021 as he misses the zone low and away. Played in the West Coast League, then went on to Cal for his freshman season and appeared in 20 games as a reliever there with a 3.86 ERA. Then went on to play in the California Collegiate League before making his way to Hyannis last summer for just a few appearances there. And now the 3-2, tipped off of the glove of Klein, and Gaffney stays alive.
We've seen this Cotuit pitching staff attack Luke Gaffney on the outside part of the plate, and they've gotten success for it over the last 2 games. Gaffney just 1 for 8. He's 0 for 3 today, and just such a powerful hitter. Of course, working deep into this at-bat, the 7th pitch upcoming, but Cotuit doing a good job limiting his power.
Payoff pitch again is fouled away down the right field line. Christian Becerra out of Los Angeles, attended Harvard Westlake School. Graduated in the spring of 2021 and capped off his high school career by pitching a shutout with 7 strikeouts and 1 hit allowed to Jay Serra in the 3-2 victory. And he issues a walk here to Luke Gaffney. So in that game, taking down Trent Caraway, who attended Jay Serra. So these two having a rematch here on the Cape League.
It's always cool to see players who squared off against each other in high school battle things out a couple of years later, and always good to see that they had success during their collegiate years.
Yeah, it was actually a 3-0 win, Harvard Westlake, beating Jay Serra in the 2021 CIF Southern Section D1 Championship. So these two already facing each other as the 0-1 pitch. Becerra gets ahead in the count 0-2. Caraway is 0 for 3. He struck out in the second, a ground out and a line out after that. Was able to reach once in last night's game, but went 0 for 3 with a walk. So Caraway so far 0 for 6 in this home and home. And now Becerra ahead in the count with the runner on first. The pitch is fouled away. The 0-2 once more. And Caraway goes down on strikes. Fans threw a up and outside fastball for his second strikeout of the day. Second strikeout for Christian Becerra. And Falmouth is down to their final out.
Caraway's had a tough day at the dish. Like you mentioned, Joe, the 2 strikeouts, and one of his other outs, that ground ball up the middle that Tyler Cerny made an excellent play, the spinning throw to nab him. So even when Caraway hit it well, just sometimes your luck isn't on your side, as he's now 0 for 4.
So here's Gavin Turley. He is 1 for 2 and takes a big cut at that 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball from Becerra. Turley with a home run earlier in this ball game. As a freshman at Oregon State, hit 14. And that was the 6th most in a single season at Oregon State. And now down in the count 0-2. Bat popping out of his hands.
Just lost the grip of that bat, is coming through on the follow-through, had to pick it up, and now look to grip it a little bit tighter.
A walk, a homer, and a strikeout today for Gavin Turley, who played in center field, facing Christian Becerra for the first time. The 0-2. Check swing. They check at first, and he did not go. So Turley stays alive. Turley was the highest-ranked recruit in the history of Oregon State baseball. Highly touted player, and just completed another campaign there In his second campaign in Falmouth, he launches this one to straightaway center field. Vu tracking back, it's over his head. Rounding second is Gaffney. He will head home. Cruising into second base is Gavin Turley with an RBI double.
Key and Vu on that ball in center field kind of misread it off the bat, came in just for a moment and saw that ball was going over his head, so had to backtrack it and then takes a wicked hop off the fence. So Vu had to chase that ball in the outfield, but it's a booming RBI double for Gavin Turley, who really having a good day at the dish, has 2 of the 3 hits for Falmouth today and both of the runs.
First pitch to Mudler is in the dirt. So the home run for Turley in the 5th inning, 437 feet, 106 off the bat. That double right there, 99 off the bat of Turley. Takes his lead at second, runner in scoring position, and he takes off for third. Swing and miss, and Klein will hold on to it there. So if there's anybody that Cotuit wants to face in this Falmouth lineup right now, it's Scott Mudler, who's had a really difficult start to his Falmouth career in 2024. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Potential third run just 90 feet away now, and the 1-1 pitch fanned at and missed. So Becerra is once more 1 strikeout away from ending this ball game. Becerra ready. The 1-2 is looked at, and it's 2-2. Jason Jones awaits on deck. He would be the game's tying run. But Mudler just trying to extend this top of the 9th inning. Cotuit leads 5-2. The 2-2 pitch from Becerra ties him up. Strike 3. Timo Becerra picks up the final strikeout to end the Commodores' night and win it 5-2 on the 4th.
And that's the end of today's Cape Cod Baseball League game.
So what a way to finish off what has been a great day here for the Village.
An excellent win for the Kettleers today, and offense was hard to come by in the early stages of this game. But Joe, once again, how many times are we going to say it? The Kettleers pitching staff came to play today, and it all started with the man who began this game, Thatcher Hurd. He went 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit, made only 1 mistake. It was the home run to Gavin Turley. Struck out 6. Cade Fisher, Christian Becerra coming in and only allowing 1 hit in 3 innings. This pitching staff dominant once again, Joe.
This pitching staff combining in that second half of the game after Thatcher Hurd went 6 innings pitched, gave up just 1 run on 1 hit, and it was Gavin Turley's solo home run, and just a massive start for Thatcher Hurd, who struggled in the early stages of his last time out against Bourne. But what a massive start for him to really set the table for that bullpen, and how easy must it be for a bullpen to pitch when they are following up a guy like Hurd.
You make a good point there. Of Hurd gave the Kettleers a lot of length, and it was that second inning where you really started to see him get into a groove where he struck out 3 consecutive batters. But how easy is it? It's hard to honestly follow up a performance like Thatcher Hurd had. But when you see one of your teammates come out and dominate on the mound, it gives you that confidence that you're going to go out there, have that same success. And for Cade Fisher and Christian Becerra, they did just that, really quieting the Commodores' bats today.
Yeah, it was Thatcher Hurd going 6 innings, gave up 1 run, 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Cade Fisher came in the game. He walked 1 batter, struck out 1 in 1 inning pitched. 2 hits given up by Christian Becerra, 1 earned run with 3 strikeouts. So that's just 2 walks with 4 strikeouts and 2 hits in 3 innings pitched for the Kettleers bullpen today. But for Thatcher Hurd to set the table like that, all the offense really had to do early on was score those 2 runs, and that home run for Brandon Compton proves to be the difference maker in what would have been the tying run of that ball game. But those insurance runs at the end of the game obviously making a big difference as well.
Of course, and if they didn't get those insurance runs and don't score 3 in the bottom of the 8th, this game is still going on. Would have been 2-2, and it was in typical Mike Roberts fashion, going with the small ball, making the defense really earn those outs. And Falmouth, once again against the Kettleers, throwing the ball around as they committed 2 errors, but it was getting those hits and picking up timely hits that allowed them to secure the 5-2 victory, but always insurance runs prove vital and provides protection and a little sigh of relief for the bullpen.
And Cotuit getting on the board first today, we talked about that's something that they haven't done in the last 5 games, but to set the table like that, but also give some leeway for your starter, how huge is that?
Oh, it's massive, and it was just a single by Charles Davalon to lead things off in the bottom of the second. 2 pass balls by the catcher, Scott Mudler, and all of a sudden, in just a few pitches, Charles Davalon finds himself on third base, and all Tyler Cerny has to do is hit a hard ground ball to the second baseman. Davalon comes easy in to score, and then, of course, the solo home run by Brandon Compton. But that was all that Thatcher Hurd really needed, but that allowed him to pitch more freely, attack these Falmouth hitters, and not worry about making a mistake because he knows he has a 2-run lead.
It's a Falmouth team that makes 2 errors today, and for the Kettleers, they scored 5 total runs, only 3 of them were earned. So for the Commodores, once again, getting in their own way and losing a baseball game purely because of fielding mistakes. And for them, it's very similar to the team that we saw here a few days ago, Orleans. Like, they're so close in so many games that when you have a game like today, the team with the better pitching, the team with the timely hitting usually wins those games, and Cotuit had it until the 9th inning for Falmouth.
We really haven't seen that over the last few games for this Falmouth team. They were playing a lot better, winners of 4 of their last 6, and definitely playing better baseball, more complete baseball over that 6-game stretch, but they just let a couple of plays get away from them. That was something that Mike Roberts talked about last night about the Kettleers. Being locked in on every single pitch, felt that the Kettleers weren't locked in on every single pitch last night, but definitely came back with a more complete performance, and sometimes that's the difference in these games. One pitch, one mistake can lead to runs on the board, and just a big inning like you saw in that bottom of the 8th with the Kettleers putting up a 3 spot.
So it was 2 runs on 3 hits for the Commodores, and really difficult to manufacture any offense when you can't get the bats going. But for Cotuit, when they don't have an offensive output that they have seen in a lot of their wins so far this season, just 5 runs on 5 hits, that bullpen and that pitching becomes more and more important. But it's just so huge to get that start from Thatcher Hurd, who, I mean, it's probably not the most difficult thing in the world to give a pitcher the news that they're pitching and starting on the 4th of July, so you have to assume that he is amped up for that and excited to get that start, and someone who loves to have a lot of eyes on him, and that's exactly the case today, and a Cotuit family that really stepped up and showed out for this 4th of July today.
And it took the Falmouth Commodores to the 8th inning to get a runner in scoring position, just a testament to how dominant Hurd was out on the mound, and of course Fisher and Becerra in the bullpen. But of course, playing in front of these fans, I'm sure Mike Roberts is going to talk about just how much he appreciated the support from the Village today. This was the most packed I've seen in Lowell Park. Fans filling up both of the grandstands all the way down the right field and third base lines, lawn chairs littering the outfield. It was just an excellent day and a great day for the Kettleers, capped off by the 5-2 win.
That's right, Mike Roberts concluding the players' huddle down there at field level, just by the third base line. Another great win for him and another great experience that he got to go through today as the Kettleers field manager and experiencing so much once again on the 4th of July. So I'm sure he has some kind words to say about the Village, but hopefully some wise words about this Kettleers team after their 10th win and their 2nd over the Commodores this season. Mike Roberts is joined with Adele Huffman at field level right now. What do you have for us, Adele?
I'm joined alongside head coach Mike Roberts for the 10th inning. Coach, Thatcher Hurd starting us off on the mound tonight with a lot of success, longest outing for a Cats pitcher thus far this summer. What ultimately led to his success?
Well, he's pitched in the College World Series, so he's a veteran of the collegiate wars without a doubt in winning a national championship. He struggled a little bit born. He hadn't pitched in a couple of weeks, but he really was focused tonight. That's, again, what I call a major league outing. You're always ahead of the hitter. It was an old-fashioned pitching job because he was able to do what I call the soft curveball early in the count, which you don't see much anymore because everybody's so concentrated on the gun. I just thought, which I 100 years ago when I played, the guys pitched backwards. So he set the tone for us, and which is really important that your starting pitcher sets the tone. And then Cade, I'd never seen Cade pitch before, Fisher, and I enjoyed his one inning, and I'd never seen Christian Becerra pitch before, except in the end, and I thought he did a great job to close out the game. So pitching was really the key to the ball game tonight.
Indeed it was, and same team, the Falmouth Commodores, but different outcome tonight. What do you think we ultimately did different in order to lead to the win?
Well, again, we got on top first, which we did not do last night. The other thing is Cerny at shortstop made a couple of really tremendous plays. You won't see too many plays better than what Cerny made tonight up the middle and kind of keep them at bay. So it was pitching and defense and holding them there until we could score some runs.
And, Coach, today we had July 4th festivities at the park and the parade. Did you get on the slip and slide? If not, what was your favorite part of today?
No, I'll get on the slip and slide tomorrow morning, probably at camp, which I normally do on Friday mornings. The favorite part is getting up, getting to the ballpark between 6 and 7 a.m. I took a video this morning, and the kind of the mist and the fog over the right field fence and the sun coming up, and I took a video, a panoramic view. That's my favorite part of it, was coming up to the ballpark and seeing this, as Roy talks about, this beautiful venue in this lovely community. And all of a sudden, you know, you walk in, people walk in here, and you've got 3,000 people sitting here on July the 4th, and see all the family, the kids, with all the that we have, and sack races and slip and slide. So the whole day is my favorite. But getting up early in the morning and coming up and seeing the mist on the field is my most favorite part of the day.
And I know all the kids that came by today definitely appreciated all the work you and the players put into that. So thank you for that, and congratulations on the big win tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at Chatham at 7 p.m. This has been Adele Huffman at Lowell Park. We'll see you tomorrow, Cotuit family.
Thanks, Adele, and thank you, Coach Mike Roberts, who just completed his 7th win over the Commodores on 4th of July since 2009. And pretty cool words that he talked about being here super early in the morning and kind of getting to see Lowell Park in a face that we really don't see it in.
No, and saying that he gets here between 6 and 7 in the morning and taking a video of the mist just has to be such a cool sight. Of course, Lowell Park getting a renovation this year, such a beautiful venue, and Mike Roberts talking about that and just how appreciative he is of the fans coming out and just how beautiful of a place Lowell Park is. And, of course, they celebrated today with a big-time victory.
That's absolutely right. One more question for you, Alex. How do the Kettleers keep things going into tomorrow at Chatham?
Well, I think to keep things going, you have to continue to get great starting pitching, and Thatcher Hurd comes out and dominates, goes 6 innings, only throws 70 pitches, strikes out 6 hitters. But you were getting contributions from different guys in your lineup, and it was a new-look lineup for the Kettleers today. Jaron Advincula led off for the first time this year. Matt Klein found himself in the 3 spot. Nolan Araki hasn't hit last all year. He was hitting last today. So it was a mix-and-match lineup for the Kettleers today that ended up they had just 2 runs through the first 7 innings, but it was small ball that led them to the victory today. But I think for the Kettleers, they need to do a better job of getting more stable production throughout the lineup. Just 5 hits on 5 runs, so you need to put together a better at-bats, put more balls in play. But, of course, a win's a win. And I think for that, just building on the momentum and picking up win number 1 in July and going from there.
That's right. That's massive to get that first win in July and improve to 1 and 2 in the second month of the season and likely the most important month of the season. So Cotuit goes to 10-6-0, second place in the West Division. Falmouth falls back to 5-10-0, fifth place in the West Division. And for Cotuit, they will travel to tomorrow they'll travel to Chatham for a 7 p.m. first pitch, with Jansen Kiesel taking to the bump for his 3rd appearance and 2nd start of the 24 campaign. So that'll wrap up our coverage for tonight's game. For the 4th of July win over the Commodores, for our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, for our production crew, Cam Christie and Jimmy Chantulis, and for my broadcast partner, as always, Alex Rocco, I'm Joe Pratt. We appreciate everybody for spending a little bit of your 4th of July with us. And the Kettleers victorious.